Tune into this. Turn on the cam, I am the fizz. Turn on the switch, listen to Strick, yeah. Know if we swinging, there's never a miss. Don't follow a script, yeah. Topics change quick. Looking for facts, looking for tips. One's an enforcer, one's a reporter. Together we Cam and Strick, yeah. One's an enforcer, one's a reporter, yeah. You tuning in to Cam and Strick.
Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 328, baby.
Yank, yeah.
My allergies are killing me. My allergies are...
Don't care. Everybody's getting sick right now. It's that time of year. I got sick last week. I was like one of the first dudes to get sick. But now all these motherfuckers on all the teams, and now it's spreading like wildfire.
You gave it to me.
Did I? Son of a bitch.
I think you did.
I think your kids gave it to me first. I'm isolated, son bitch.
I caught the tail end of a report today. Did they say that Caitlin Clark is going back to Iowa to play a game?
Don't care.
No,
that's
dude,
what we're starting with?
No, that's what I wanted to know.
Come on.
Honestly.
Of all the things that are going down.
What's wrong with that?
She's going back. It doesn't make any sense.
I think she's playing a game in Iowa. That would be the most anticipated return probably in female basketball history for sure.
When do they start?
Soon.
Oh yeah. What day? Do
you know that
what month?
Listen, you'll like the NBA tried. They begged her to participate in the NBA 3-point competition. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like, I'm not doing that. That's how bad the ratings are on the NBA. They need to go get Caitlin Clark to bring up the ratings in the NBA. And she said, no, I'm going to wait because I think Indiana, the Fever, who she plays for, she can play the 1, she can play the 2 cam.
No, I don't mean to be texting right now.
No,
but
why are you doing this?
Well,
you're texting. I'm telling a story.
Because now you're talking about the 1s and 2s, and
okay,
she goes to her left, she goes to her. We've heard this story.
Okay, but like I'm telling a story real quick. And so she is saying, I think they're hosting the WNBA All-Star Game. So she said, the first time I do a skills competition, it's going to be in front of my fans. So I kind of like this, she said.
I like her still. Okay. You know what I mean? She sold out a little bit.
Angel is getting, she's getting crushed right now.
She's just I can't take her serious.
Angel?
She's all about her. It's me. It's me. It's about me. People are watching me. I'm the best. I'm this.
So much to get into on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
She gets chirped for her looks. I'm like, I think she's sexy.
Who? Angel?
And Cameron Brink, who sold herself out too. She hates that she's a white person, but I would make sweet love to her if I was single.
Cameron Brink. Remind me who she is.
Is it Cameron Brink?
Remind me.
Maddie, is it Cameron Brink? The tall blonde. Anyway, I don't watch. It's all good. Yeah. I just see the posts, whatever. Here's the bottom line. People are getting sick. It lasts for, mine lasted for like 12 hours. Blah, 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 blah,
from
blah,
the sparks.
I crush fucking soda like blah, blah, blah. When I get dehydrated, water does not hydrate me. It's really, really weird. I need a Gatorade, sugar-filled Gatorade, not a sugar-free, none of that crap. And I need a crushed soda, and then I'm rehydrated. It's very weird how that works. Electrolytes, soda, I don't know, but water don't do nothing for me.
I didn't know you were talking about this Cameron Brink because she's 6'4". She's a power forward.
Sweet love.
She's put up a lot. She's put up some good numbers, man.
If I was single, I would. That's a breeder, basically.
6'4".
Yeah, it's a breeder.
6'4".
Yeah.
Like
she's an athlete.
You couldn't.
Now she probably still can't. No. She probably still can't dunk, which is fine.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah. She slam it down.
Oh, I'm sure.
Show me a video of it
with one hand.
Is she slamming the ball down? Oh really? Show me.
She averaged 7.5 and 5 rebounds.
Okay, who cares?
So she's
we're good. Don't. People are going to turn off our podcast if we get into that right off the bat.
Did you watch the Grammys last night?
You would watch the Grammys. And he's like this. Billie Eilish. Ah! Good God.
Hey.
Beyonce, country singer.
How did she?
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
did she win Best Country Artist? Beyonce, did I read that correctly?
She's won 33. Fucking Rolling Stones won 3. She's won 33. Is she that good? You know what they're all pissed about, the Grammys, Andy? What do you think?
A lot of different things. Tariffs aren't one of them.
They don't even know what the fuck's going on. What do you think the biggest thing is they're mad about, Andy?
There's a lot of things.
Want me to tell you?
Yeah. Diddy.
They're pissed. Andy, see, that's why we've been working together for so long. You know what the fuck. They're mad that they ain't no goddamn Diddy party afterwards. Son of shoot. Where do we go now? Where do we go now to take advantage of young girls and guys? with oil all over. Where are we going to go now? We have to find another party. They're pissed that there ain't no Diddy party left. I don't watch any of that stuff. It's just funny. Did you see, I just see it on, social media, but, some of these celebrities and their kids are just fucked up, Like, what's Will Smith's kids come on board, and he's wearing...
He wore a house on his head.
Although I love that castle house. Mm-hmm. Like, that's cool to me. But you're so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. There's a Twitter post that said something like to the effect of, hey, is that the house your mom banged all your friends in?
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm like, whoa. But that happened.
Jada? You're accusing her of that?
She fucked all his friends.
Do you know I went back and watched?
She banged.
Okay, we don't know that.
Yeah, we do. Imagine.
We don't know.
Thank you, Maddie. Imagine.
His high school buddies?
Imagine your mother banging your friends. That's normal. No wonder he's wearing a goddamn house on his head. Holy macatoli.
There used to be a commercial here in town for Sinclair.
He's voting, by the way.
Sinclair Windows.
He's voting.
Sinclair Windows, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It used to be a guy wearing a house in the commercial. And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? And so his daughter was one of my best friends in high school.
Cool.
Like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I worked there for a little bit, dude. At that place, I used to say I wanted to do those commercials with wearing the house and whatever, but that guy wore. So he showed up wearing a house yesterday.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I wasn't able to catch much of the Grammys at all.
What were you doing?
Laurie was downstairs watching with Ivy, and I kept hearing their response. And Chloe was at a friend's house watching the Grammys. So
how is little Ivy?
Oh, she's doing fantastic. Yeah, she's doing great. But I was up watching the Blues. They played Utah last night.
I didn't seem like there's
the
any
Utah
fans in the
Hockey
stands.
Club. I said that last time they played Utah.
I didn't see
I
any
think
fans.
it's just a crazy, weird setup. Maybe the worst venue to watch hockey.
Did you see like the sideboards? So like when you get past the blue line, about 10 feet into the zone,
you just can't see anything.
You look at the stands and they're inverted like this, towards the middle of the ice. So you have to look this way, like you're looking this way towards the middle of the ice, and the net's over there. So you're always like this.
You're like, hey, what's wrong with your neck? I went to the Utah game last night.
I watch hockey, like all the way this way, all the way back.
I can't come into work today. I went to the
I'm
Utah
not chirping
game.
Utah because I'll tell you this right now. They got a great ownership group. He's a young guy. He wants to pimp out everything. Their locker room's already pimped out. They did a lot. They are going to have probably the baddest ass building in the next couple years that they're going to put right downtown. Did you see the overhead view of Salt Lake City? I didn't go on that trip. I was hoping I would go on that trip. It is so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Dude. The mountains are a lot closer than they are in Denver.
Oh, you're right at the base of the mountain.
Let's go.
It's like being in Telluride. I have been.
Telluride's badass.
Yeah, it's
right
like being
there,
in Telluride.
Telluride's right on.
You're in the base of a mountain.
But Telluride's isn't it in western Colorado towards like
Southwestern.
the southern, and it's like connected to all that.
Almost close to the Four Corners.
People
really.
get married out there.
You know the Four Corners?
Yeah, right? Oklahoma, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. No.
New Mexico.
New Mexico and Colorado, not Utah. Utah's up there.
No,
anyway.
I think Utah would be part of it.
I don't know. I gotta look at it.
It's not Oklahoma.
I know what you're talking
about. New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. In Colorado. That's the Four Corners. So let me just say this. So in Telluride, I went and saw Bunny Wailer. Dude, super inspirational reggae artist. It was one of the most amazing experiences, out of body experiences. I remember looking at the mountains when he was singing and just like,
were you fucked up?
I was having a fantastic
time. Were you
time.
getting your mind right?
I'd
be partying, dude. I would be out of it. And just jam and let the music take you over and stare at
I drove my Ford Taurus it was like a 5-hour drive. And, there's always like one dipshit that comes with, you're just kind of like, but you're fine with it. You're just like, I
don't do that.
He's like, can I come? I'm like, sure.
You say
come.
no. Just say no, like Nancy Reagan.
Okay, so this is like, did she just say no? She did say that.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of this campsite, middle of nowhere, dude. And this is no cell phones. Back in the late 90s, he locks my keys in the car, dude.
He's an idiot. That's on you.
Locks my keys. We're stuck, dude. We had to walk for miles, dude, to get to a gas station to use a payphone to call to have somebody come and unlock the car.
Andy's got to at that point of his life, like the people are like, I'll hang out with you. And he's like, sure, let's do it. Meanwhile, he's a fucking idiot, and now you're stuck. You're not armed. Somebody could have robbed the shit out of you.
He's like, can I see your keys? I need to go get something out of the car. I give him the keys. He comes back. He's like, dude, I locked the keys in the car.
Jesus Christ, moron. We've all done that.
my
Don't get me
God.
wrong, but like in the middle of nowhere, and he's your buddy that it's not really your buddy, then that's on you.
So listen,
No,
real
on
quick,
Utah, real quick.
Yes.
Sorry, I just want to say another thing. God damn it! Now I forgot. Wait, no, I didn't.
Let me say something about Utah, and then you'll think of your thought.
No, I know what it is.
you know
It's
what
the
it is?
name of the team.
Because the Yeti, they didn't get the
They couldn't do the Yeti,
copyright.
and that's okay. They could
Uh-huh.
still have a Yeti as a mascot and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the Mammoth and the Outlaws, the way the jerseys were drawn up, look shit kicking badass.
Can you
in my
show me
opinion.
the jerseys? Because that
You can
will-
show yourself.
No, show me
No,
the
no,
jerseys.
you can show
No,
yourself.
dude.
They
Show me
look,
the jerseys.
Outlaws are fucking shit kicking cowboy, boom, and that's where Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
Yeah,
Kid
I
was
know.
filmed and all that stuff. There was
There's
cowboys
a lot
in
of
and out
stuff
of there, baby.
filmed
Badass
in like
Utah.
Moab, Utah.
And Mammoth too, by the
Oh
way.
yeah.
Which they're trying to resurrect in some certain areas.
Dude,
around
Utah's
the world.
badass. You ever
Utah
been
is
to like
badass.
Zion National Park, dude?
No, I haven't, but I know
Yeah,
all about
incredible.
it. It's
Had
beautiful.
another emotional experience there.
A lot of Mormons there.
There are in Utah.
No big deal.
Sister Wives was a
No
great
big deal.
show.
It's
Great
a little
show.
odd. Mormons are different than whatever. No big deal.
Mhm.
We love everybody, but they are a little bit different. I think
Yeah.
they have multiple wives. As far as the sex goes with Mormons, very, very weird. They call it soaking, where you put your wee-wee in the vagina, and then somebody comes around you like a cuckold and shakes the bed like, and then you get your satisfaction. Odd as fuck. I wouldn't do that. Andy might. I don't know.
Dude,
Very weird.
Cody Brown, he was the guy. He was the star of Sister Wives. And, dude, he had so many wives. This guy, I had so many wives.
It'd be awesome. They just interviewed a guy from
and
fucking.
he started like getting in. I mean, he had all this controversy.
Would you want that?
He
they
made,
just-
said he made a mistake with polygamy.
Oh, yeah?
What does that really mean?
Don't know. Made a mistake. Now I got 29 wives. I made a mistake.
He's like, I made a mistake. I should have reduced that.
Sounds
So
like
Cody Brown, look that up because a lot of lingering questions regarding his relationships.
Imagine having 29 wives and like 100 children,
Dude,
and you're just breeding.
he had a massive house, different wings of the house where this is where the side of the house when he's with this girl, and then where their kids
Could you
live.
imagine that?
This side of the house is with that wife and their kids, and everyone's interacting together.
And he just runs the show
My
like,
brother just
I want you over there, woman. You're with me tonight.
my brother
really
just
weird.
moved to Utah 2 years ago, and they knock on his door.
The Mormons?
They want him, and then once
They want
they
him?
realize, oh yeah, they want the whole family. Once they realize you're not going down that road and you're not part of the community,
Yeah.
they just stop talking to you. They won't look at you. They won't stop.
What do they want?
Well, they want a lot of things. 10% of your income.
For what?
That's what they give.
Wow. Yeah. It's
At
see,
the-
Utah's got
in the
some
Mormon
fucking issues
church,
too.
I'm saying
You
you
know.
give 10% of your
They
income.
bang on Andy's door. No, they bang on Andy's door. Like, welcome in. Yeah, god dang right. Take my wife.
Cam could never be Mormon because they'd be like, Cam, we need 10%. He'd be like, I don't have it.
Well, no shit.
I don't-
What? Would
Somebody
you-
else.
See, he's a gullible fuck. Now, Maddie, you think he's gonna get his walled out and pay a 10% tax?
Oh my God.
You out of your damn mind?
He's like, 10%. Mikey, where are you? Mikey, come here.
I would say that the Jehovah's Witnesses used to bang on my door, and I treat them dang good. I'd be like, come
Oh,
on in. They're
I
sweating their ass
love
off.
them.
They're in those cheap ass suits made of
Yes.
wool, 110 degree temperature.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, come on in. Would you like some water? Would you like some food? Here's my kitty cat.
Yeah.
And then I'd talk to them and then space out. And then they thought that I'm listening,
Then you're
but
like,
I really
you gotta
wasn't.
go. And they
Then you
would
gotta
give
go.
you some paperwork, some
Yeah.
literature to read. I would always just make them feel so comfortable. In fact, the girl who cuts my hair is Jehovah's Witness. And I've
Cool.
learned a lot about, they don't celebrate anything, Cam. Birthdays, holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
That's okay.
They don't do any holidays.
Do they have 15 wives?
No.
Do they soak?
Oh, God. You don't have to look at me like that and like say it like
I'm
that.
just saying.
I mean, with such
Is that a normal thing?
emphasizing the word
That's
like
what they
that.
do. They soak. Look it up.
I know what they do.
Do the Jehovah's
they
soak?
shake the bed and do all that. Jehovah's don't do that.
So weird. Shake the bed.
Isn't that what they do?
Because of God.
Mhm.
God's going to be like, oh, this is okay. How stupid is that?
Hey, and I'm not chirping anybody who
yeah, we kinda
is-
are.
No,
No, we kinda are. No,
I'm
no, no.
not. I'm
No,
not.
we
If
both
you're,
are a
if you're
little bit.
Mormon, I respect your religion. I have a lot of respect for your
Oh,
religion.
big time.
No, because I knew Dave
Big
Checketts.
time.
Dave Checketts, when he was here, he was an owner. He was part of the Mormon church. In fact, he had such a big role in the
How'd he
Mormon
do here?
church. He had such a role in the Mormon church
How'd he do?
that he
You respect him
that
that
he
much?
went all the way to
you almost
London.
fucked this whole organization
that he
up.
went all the way to London.
Get out of here.
I like
Dave Checketts.
I like some of the people that he worked with.
Yeah, okay. Some of the people we work
Mike
with,
McCarthy,
but they
and
fucked a lot of things
but
up.
they
Like,
were.
let's be
It
honest
was.
here.
It was a Cam. I could write a book on that
I
whole
know.
experience.
So why are you kissing his
it
ass
was
now?
a on again, off again,
Oh,
craziest
crazy,
time of my
man.
life, man.
Me too. I was playing for him.
And you know who was caught in the middle of all of it? JD.
Oh, John Davidson. Yeah. You got to say the name because people don't know JD.
John Davidson.
John Davidson.
They
We
know,
love
They know
man.
JD.
We know. Not everybody. You keep thinking that we're talking to goddamn players and coaches and GMs only. No. Our fucking audience is everywhere, dude. They don't know.
They know JD.
Okay, you have to say John
I
Davidson.
saw John Davidson.
Damn.
He was caught in the middle because he had the relationship with them, so he was always automatically attached to them.
Yeah.
But he was, I think, behind the scenes trying to detach himself when he realized
Probably.
this wasn't going to work. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, this hockey thing is really cool. I want to have a career running NHL teams and being a hockey executive. And it was pretty clear after a very short time that it wasn't going to be under the direction of Dave Checketts. It just wasn't going to work.
No.
Listen, I was telling Matthew Schneider a story the other day. I ran into Matthew Schneider, great dude.
Where?
He joined us on the podcast. He was at the Blues game,
Oh, okay.
and he was downstairs. His son actually works for the team.
Really?
I want to give a shout out to Matthew Schneider's son. Yeah, he works for the team. So
What's his name? Why don't you call him out by his
I
name?
know, I forgot it. Okay, see.
Andy really cares about him.
Oh my God, dude.
I
don't have
I
it.
gotta give a shout out to a guy I don't even know his name.
I don't have it in front of me. I could picture him. He does great work for First Community and like the Little Blues and the
That's cool.
intermission games with the
Yeah.
mini mites. He's doing all
Which I
that.
love
He
to
went to
watch.
University of Miami. I got the whole story. Don't act like I don't. I just can't remember his first name. Dude.
which is not a big deal at all.
It's not, dude. How often do you remember? You meet him one time.
I'm not pumping their tires up like he's a
So,
great guy and your best
I'm
buddies.
talking about Matthew Schneider.
Yeah.
So Dave Checketts, he's the owner of the Blues, and he was telling everybody that everything was always under control.
Big time.
Even though behind the scenes, I think the NHL was paying some of their bills and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It just was not a good situation. So, and it really wasn't their money, right? They had these hedge fund people
There
who
it
were
is.
basically controlling the team from a financial standpoint,
Yep.
even when they first got here.
He was a face.
So the Blues needed a defenseman at the time, but they didn't really have a lot of cash. So I'm doing a radio show with a popular, probably the most popular sports columnist they've ever had here in St. Louis, Bernie Miklasz.
The
You gotta
Burn Dog.
say his name, right?
Burn Dog.
Don't say that because people don't know who you're talking about. You got to say his
You
name.
just said it.
Okay,
I'm
well,
giving
fine.
the nickname
But like
out.
I said, JD, you had a problem with
Figure
that.
out your
And
chirps.
he's like the Burn Dog. You know,
You just
they
said his
don't
name.
know who
but you
that
said
is.
his name. Figure
So
out his,
Bernie
figure out your
Miklasz,
chirps.
Bernie Miklasz, a columnist here in town. So we have Dave Checketts on, and we're having this conversation. Everything's going great, and all of a sudden he drops this bomb, and he's like, "I want to buy the Rams." He's like, my group wants to buy. Now we're talking the NFL Rams. Like even back then, we're
What
north
year?
of 500 million, probably 700 million.
What year was this?
I mean,
08?
somewhere around there. You were
Mhm.
probably playing for the team at the time. So, dude,
I want to buy everything.
he said he wanted to buy the Rams, and we're like, oh, really? So this becomes like headline news, everywhere. Dave Checketts and his group looking to buy the Rams. And things were a little rocky with Stan Kroenke at the time before they were officially moving out to L.A. So anyway, Checketts hangs up, and I look at Bernie, and Bernie's like, he wants to buy the Rams. This is great news. I'm like, pump
Settle
the
down.
brakes. I go,
Settle down.
he can't even afford Matthew Schneider, but he wants to buy the Rams
Mhm.
because Matthew Schneider was available at the time, and the Blues didn't have the money to bring in Matthew Schneider, but they needed a defenseman. But they couldn't afford him, but he was going to buy the Rams.
Of course he was.
But everybody just believes everything. You know what I mean? You can say anything and they'll believe it. So that night I'm in the press box, and Checketts and the crew walks through, and literally like elbow, like forearm shiver, like Dennis Rodman in the paint. Forearm. And he's like, I can't afford Matthew Schneider, huh? And they just kept walking.
Oh, he said it to you.
Yes.
No, you can't.
They
See, that's
couldn't.
what I'm
So I told Matthew Schneider that story the other day. He was laughing so hard.
Well, the whole reason why we brought this up is because Andy virtue signaled, and he's like, Dave Checkett's a good buddy of mine. He's great. I'm like, no, he kind of fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was very unorganized. It is what it is. No big deal.
No,
Very
Tom-
successful
No,
guy.
Tom Stillman has come in.
Tom
and
Stillman and his ownership group,
Yes.
completely different. This is top notch, dude.
Yes.
The plane, the food, the fucking everything. the
Spending
Blues-
to the cap.
They spend, they do everything
Renovated
they can.
the entire building.
They help the fans out. They try to make the
They
players.
bring events here to town.
They make
They
the
have a
players the
relationship with the
Get
fan
outta
base.
here. They
People
do a
know
damn
them.
good job.
They shake hands.
Place is fucking packed. They're a 500 team that, and it's packed.
And it is packed.
It's packed every night.
Yes.
They make the players available. They keep everybody open to everything. The alumni are everywhere. They do a damn good job.
Yeah.
So that's all. Just don't virtue signal.
I wasn't.
You want to do it with Tom Stillman, I'll agree with you. But then you go back and
I'm just saying you were talking about Mormons, and I was talking about Cody Baker and everybody. Is it Baker?
We're just chirping a little bit. No big deal. We love everybody.
Cody Brown. Sorry.
What's the biggest story we should talk about first?
Well, I don't know if we start with
I don't know.
Because
we're in a weird spot.
There's some big ass hockey stories going on
big time.
too.
Let's get into that because I'm picturing what everybody's doing driving right now.
Helicopter crashes.
I'll get into that.
The Florida Panthers today are going to visit the White House, so they're going to have some fun there at the White House. Wait. Man, I was texting.
Trump's going to be like, "You guys are good." It'll be so goddamn funny. Trump will be fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of shit going on.
And that team will be funny with him.
God, yeah.
But
down in Florida,
the Canadians booing the national anthem.
That's all going to go away.
I don't like seeing that.
I don't hate it. I hate seeing it.
I just want to start with it because I
want to start with that.
We love Canada.
We do business with Canada.
I can't believe that we are in a world where Canada and USA is not getting along.
It will.
But I do feel like this is more about Trudeau than anything.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's about their border and fentanyl that kills over 200,000 people.
I understand that.
Oh, so, I'm sorry. Is that not a big enough reason?
That is, but
that's like the biggest reason why people voted is because of all the drugs that come in here. And so now Canada is letting people come through.
You're leading it to my point, though. Because let me just finish my point. And
my bad. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Let me finish because this is about Trudeau, and there's a number of people in Canada who don't want Trudeau in power. He doesn't open it up to like an election like we see here in the States and whatnot, right? So he wants to remain in power. He's done things to the country that probably have set them back. I don't want to speak for Canadians. Some may agree with me, some may not. I don't live there, so they can help me out with that. And as long as he's in power and things are going to be the way they are, then I think you're going to see some of these tariffs and whatnot. If he's not in power and somebody else who maybe Trump's considers a little more sane and thinks a little more
in the middle than what it is,
then guess what? Those tariffs won't be in place. Okay, so that's what I
think you're 100% wrong.
Oh.
He hates Trudeau.
That's what I mean.
Hates him.
What am I saying?
But it's not just about Trudeau. It's about Trudeau's his border and how he lets in so many people. There's 50,000 student loans that are unaccounted for, and they all creep right into America.
They come into Canada.
They come into Canada, they creep right down the United States.
I'm going to go to school, then they disappear.
50,000. That's why he hates Trudeau, but he hates his policies more. So if it was somebody else that's involved and they have the same policies as far as open border, he's still going to fucking throw the tariff. Now,
that's different.
I hate seeing this. I do. Especially all these Alberta, Manitoba, these shit kickers in the fucking Saskatchewan. These guys are working their goddamn ass off. People all over Canada working their ass off.
The fishermen on PEI.
I do not. Exactly. I do not want to see any more hindrance on their economy and their lifestyle and their way of life as far as fucking bringing food to the goddamn table to their lovely families. I don't like seeing it. But it's a business. And Trump's a goddamn businessman. And he warned them. He said, we have way too many fucking immigrants coming in here. Illegal immigrants with fentanyl is taking over this country, and it's got awful. It's made in China as a bioweapon. It goes up to Mexico, and Mexico takes it all the way up to Canada, and they bring it through here. So he's like, just stop doing that. That's it. We'll take these tariffs down. Just stop doing that. Canadians are losing their mind. I get that, man. Even the Canadians that love the United States, they're losing their mind. I get that right now. They're booing. I hate fucking seeing it. But all you have to do is shut down your border, and he will fucking take those tariffs right off. They just did it with Mexico. What do you think just happened?
Well, they arrested a number of people and whatever. Do you know?
No. I'm not done. Mexico's
you cut me off
Sorry,
first.
I didn't mean to.
And then now I'm trying to cut you off to take it back.
I'm sorry. Because you were going to change the subject. I'm just saying.
No, I wasn't. I was just going to tell you one thing.
Mexico just caved.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't read that part because you're on the phone with some agent. Mexico just caved. The leader, what's her name? I forgot her name. But she said, okay, fine. Enough with the tariffs. I'm going to send 10,000 soldiers to the border to shut it down. And Trump's like, you're damn right. So now hopefully Canada does that too. And then the tariffs are off. Hell, this might go down. This is Monday tonight. This is going to go down at midnight tonight. I bet you I don't know. But I would say that there's going to be a deal in place with Canada.
Of course there will. This is a negotiating tactic.
He won.
Come on.
And a good one. I don't like it, but I get it. You got to shut the border down. 200,000 people died a
you
year on
know-
fentanyl, including my second
Do
cousin
you
a year
know
ago.
that
Hits
there,
home to
that
me.
there are more arrests made of people who are on the terrorist watch list
In
from Canada coming
yes.
into the U.S. than
1,200.
Mexico coming into the U.S.
1,200.
No, like
No, it's 1,200. It's all good. It's 1,200. And so, no. Yeah,
no,
1,200.
like 350, but
No.
whatever.
That's Mexico. It was 1,200 in Canada. I've been reading this all goddamn day,
Okay,
Andy.
just double check
I was up
that.
at 5 o'clock
'Cause
in the
the
morning.
fact
Maddie, am I
checker-
wrong?
the fact
Wasn't it
checkers-
1,200 they found on the
I thought
terrorist
it was
watch?
350
No,
in Canada
that's
and
Mexico.
like a little over 100 in Mexico.
So anyway, that is a big deal. You're like, 1,200, that's not a big deal. Terrorist watch? These guys are all going to go. Are you kidding? They hate us. They hate us. You've got to be able to shut the border down, and then everything's going to be okay. We got Canadians texting us left and
yeah,
right.
but
man.
everyone always assumes it's only coming from Mexico and Venezuela, and that's where all the criminals are coming into the country from.
You can't just go from Venezuela to the United States. Do you get that?
You have
Do
to
you know
go
what a map
through
is?
somewhere else in
you
North
have to go through
America,
goddamn
yeah.
Mexico. But China is creating the fentanyl. China, it's a bio fucking weapon, and they're creating it, and it kills so many fucking people.
So we were
that's
saying
it.
basically the same thing.
No, you said it's all on Trudeau. I'm like,
No.
no, it's Trudeau's policies.
Wait,
So if
correct.
there's somebody else there doing it, he would do the same thing.
Okay, but
Well, that
what I'm
counters your
saying is, if
argument.
you bring somebody else takes over power in that position in Canada, who obviously doesn't have the same policies,
and so
and is more on the same page as Trump, then you're not going to see the tariffs that have been.
that's because they're going to implement more border security. That's why. It's not just about who's there. It's like if Trudeau right now says, hell, we're going to throw down 20,000 people there, Trump will be like, damn right. And they'll sit down with Trudeau and they'll be buddies again.
Yeah. What are the chances of that happening?
Well, Trudeau went down to goddamn Mar-a-Lago.
Did he? I know he did.
Mar-a-Lago.
A month ago or so. Did he really say? Was that? I never know if it's AI anymore. I mean, I listen to these press conferences. I don't know if it's AI. If
I
it's,
know. You got to watch that. You're
But
right.
he was like, when you go to the grocery store, don't drink Florida orange juice.
No, drink Canadian orange juice.
Don't vacation. He,
Don't vacation in the summer in Florida.
he was
No
like-
one does that.
He was like, check out so many of the various national parks and great places we have in our country.
You have to beg Canadians
like,
to stay in
what?
Canada? That sucks.
That
Now-
was a weird message.
People loved it up there for some reason. Anyway,
Did they?
I don't know.
Don't drink the Florida.
Don't
look,
drink the-
look at the labels.
Drink the
No,
Sus-
I agree with that.
Drink the Saskatchewan
Orange
juice. See how that tastes. Now listen,
How about drink that Sudbury orange juice?
Sudbury orange juice with nickel in it. But we're not chirping, dude. It's just to all settle down. We do not want this
love
for Canada.
Canada.
We love everybody up there. It's a
We
bully
can't have
tactic with a
this.
businessman, and that's all it is. And it's working in Mexico, and it's probably going to work in Canada, and no one's going to be affected by it.
But
Shut
I'm
the fucking
getting
border down.
messages from
Me
people
too.
saying, "I hate your country." I'm like,
I
"Oh my
know.
God."
Me too. And like, okay,
Oh,
calm down.
no.
Everything's. Do you think we made this up? No, it is what it is. But you did vote
don't
for him.
Think, I think the booing of any national anthem is excessive.
It's funny though. I know. I get that too. Let them do their thing. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, but you know, the first
I don't like it,
time
but
I
I'm not
saw
worried about
this
it.
was in Ottawa, and I think there's 6 American players on the Ottawa roster, including your captain,
who you
who
love.
did not speak. I think it was probably by design and was probably a good thing
Your
that he
hero.
didn't speak to the media following that game.
You want him to stay?
But hey, you want any American star to come play in Canada? I mean, maybe that's not as important. I don't know. So, but this is not something that I think that, that I hope continues, man. I
It
just hope
won't.
it does. It's getting louder and louder and different.
Of course it is.
You know, in Vancouver, it was so loud and whatever. Not overly surprised to see that. You're seeing that in the NBA as well right now. So, but I
NBA.
just, you just recognize what it is. This is it's a negotiating tactic. I don't think a lot of
Of course it
people truly know what it's all about, to be honest
Well,
with
you
you.
do your research, you can figure it
Yeah,
out. It's pretty
yeah,
simple.
yeah.
It's actually really simple.
Yeah.
You shut the border down. We're having too many deaths here from fentanyl, and it's coming from up there. And now you got terrorist watch groups coming down,
Yeah.
and they're terrorist people coming through. And
On
they're
the terrorist watch
on the
list.
terrorist watch list. That's unbelievable. You just got to shut down. No big deal. No,
Yeah.
all good. But it is funny though when they tweet at the grocery stores in Canada. Sure, all the liquor stores are government owned, and they'll be like, "This is Canadian made. They took all the U.S. booze out of the shelves and put them in stockpile them in the back." And I'm like, "Oh, what a great tactic that is! Isn't that a great tactic?
Yeah.
How? You already bought it. You already bought the American booze, and now you're not selling it?
Yeah.
You're losing even more money.
I know.
What kind of tactic is that?
He did say, Trudeau, he said, instead of drinking whiskey, drink Canadian rye.
Okay. They're going to drink
I'm
what
like, is this
not
AI
gonna work.
or is this really happening?
he
So
said
listen,
that.
Canada, we love y'all, man. We're not
Yeah.
going to allow
It's all gonna
any
be over.
tariffs or any type of political tactics to divide us here on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Trump doesn't mess around, man. And there's a lot of countries that rip us off.
But now
And
he's pissed off China now.
Well, you should. They're the ones creating everything. Of course you should.
Who is?
China. Okay? China. They're our biggest threat no matter what. We're neighbors with Canada. It's all going to work out. And the only reason why he's doing this with Canada is because they're fucking right there. If this was Australia, he wouldn't give a shit. You worry about that. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're directly above us, and we see what's going on.
Do you know how much of the economy in Canada is relied upon from the United States? Like, do you know they can't survive like this?
I know, and that sucks. It's like you don't want to go toe
Like,
to toe
this
with
is
U.S.
not-
man.
You know,
it's a losing battle.
You know they can't survive without.
And we're going to be energy independent. We have oil out the wazoo here. We have trees out the wazoo here. If we want our lumber, all that, we could do everything ourselves. They're like avocado. We could make our own avocado in California.
In Hawaii.
You're not going to get Corona. We'll go drink Bush. You know, like it's a losing battle. And Trump knows
Is Corona
that.
made in Mexico?
I think so.
It's probably made here now.
Well, you can. You know what I mean? So my point is like, it's just a losing battle. Trump knows what he's doing. He doesn't want to fucking defend. He doesn't want to not have a great relationship with Mexico and Canada. And in the end,
No, we
in the
need
bigger
to
picture,
have a-
we need to
Yeah,
be.
let's
but
get along,
shut
okay?
the border down. That's it.
Okay.
Shut it down. Quit letting fentanyl and these psychopaths come in here and blow up fucking churches. Stop it. That's it.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Okay.
Okay, next topic before we get into some
What's
hockey
up?
here. The helicopter crash. So I saw a helicopter last night. Listen, they cannot fly. They're not supposed to fly above 200 feet, 250 feet maybe. And that helicopter was higher.
A lot of traffic. A lot of
A lot of traffic in that area.
In the most important area in the United States, there's so much traffic.
The most secured airspace.
Why is there so many things going on? Let's calm things down. And like we didn't get the notification of who flew
The third member.
the third member who was in the helm.
Mhm.
I believe it was. Don't know exactly yet. There's still things that are coming out. This is Monday. But people are like, somebody done fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
Well, I
No. How did that happen? Seriously. So everyone's like, oh, this is... Wait, how did this
pilot error.
happen?
You
It's
know,
unacceptable.
I was listening to a podcast with on my drive yesterday with a former Black Hawk helicopter pilot, female, talking about how they should have had two crew chiefs on board because in a helicopter you can only see so much of your surroundings. You can't see behind you.
You can look
right?
at your satellite and it shows everything.
And normally you would have somebody looking behind you, another crew chief. And it's almost as if, I think the way I took it from what she's saying is they did not see the plane.
And that's ridiculous. How did this happen? I'm curious. And so somebody really, really fucked up, man, and killed a lot of people.
Like it wasn't like intentional, right? Have you come to that idea?
Yeah, I think it was incompetence. I
Yeah,
said that to you when we
exactly.
talked a couple days ago.
Pilot error.
Pilot error, how though?
It wasn't terrorist. It wasn't.
No. How though? Why? Why did you not know that? And those Blackhawks, you don't think they have? Do you think they have to look up and be like, "Hey, there's that thing"? No, they have everything
And I
on their
think it
screen.
was a training mission, wasn't it?
They always do training missions. Why at night? So there's a lot of incompetence going on from the people in the
Yeah,
tower.
the lack of visibility. They talk about the light reflection that comes off the river there.
It was a beautiful
tough to
night.
see.
It was a beautiful night.
It was clear, yeah.
clear night. Your tower people from.
But there's a lot of lights, and they were saying, at that low of altitude, there's a lot of lights everywhere.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're driving a Blackhawk. Those things have been through everything. You're
And
in
they
all
also have, high end. I mean,
technology to show where everything's coming
collision
from.
technology,
No doubt.
all of that.
Andy, so it's what happened. Who was incompetent? How did this go down so this never
Wasn't like a suicide
happens?
type
No,
thing.
I don't think so at all. How did this happen, and how do we avoid this going forward? Was it the people in the tower that were incompetent? Was it a little bit of this? Was it a little bit of that? Was it a little bit of this? Which is horrifying. I'll look at these two plane crashes, and there was another one that was going to happen too. Fucking right when they're taking off, the goddamn engine blew up, and they had to fucking slow down. Good thing they didn't take off, and the engine
Where was
blew
that
up.
coming from?
I don't know, but it just happened a couple days
Was
ago.
that an American
Yeah.
commercial airline?
Yes. So This is weird. We got it. I don't want to wait 3 years to figure out what the fuck happened and no one cares anymore. I want to know now. I want a black box. Let's figure this out
They
so it
found
doesn't
both
happen again.
black boxes.
Because this was coming from, was it come from Kansas? And all these
Wichita, yeah.
These like figure skaters and stuff, like
it's
young
terrible.
kids, like God damn it, they went through hell. Now, did they go through hell like the private jet that crashed in Philly? No. And let me explain why.
Hold on, set that scene.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I was watching the Grammys. It was just to happen.
Gaga, Lady Gaga.
Beyonce, best country. Beyonce.
Anyway,
I mean, what kind of world are we living in? I mean, you can't be serious.
It's all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, best country artist, Beyonce. I mean, listen.
She's a country girl.
Shania Twain must be rolling around being
She's
like,
a country
what
girl.
is going on, dude?
How's Jay-Z doing?
Dolly Parton.
What Jay-Z do that night? Anyway, so I think that when the plane hit the helicopter, there were survivors off the bat because it blew up. But I think at the tail end of that, the plane, they all fell into the river and then they just couldn't get out of their seatbelt and they drowned. But I think there were survivors. But this private jet, this military jet that just helped this little girl through this horrible, they were somewhere and this little girl had this weird disease and they went to this, these doctors and they helped her and they were flying back with her family after they just like.
Was the little girl in there too?
Yes, with another little
So
baby.
it was like a medical.
It was a medical transportation on a private jet, and something went down. Now, do I think it's terrorism? No. Do I think it was?
Well, how'd they crash?
I'll explain it. We don't know yet because the black box it just happened a couple days ago.
They go down. They collide with something else.
They went down like this. Whirr, bam! You didn't see the video of this? It's unbelievable. Check because you have your head in the sand. Check this video out. It's horrific.
I wish I did because
it went right
told
into
the story a little quicker.
It went to a fucking almost hit a mall.
Oh
It killed people on the ground.
A mall.
It was at 6 o'clock at night in the middle of Philly.
Oh my God! And no one else got hurt.
Yes, people died on the ground.
Oh my God!
So anyway. What I think happened with the private jet is it was freezing cold that night, and they didn't clear off the wings in time. This is just my theory off what I've read so far. Could be completely.
Cam's an aviation expert now.
And he doesn't even know what's going on. You can't chirp.
You should be like in the aviation.
think-
You should be on the taking questions from Congress like that one guy was.
You shouldn't be on anything. So I think that the ice screwed up and they stalled out in the middle of the air. And then because why did they crash why'd they go down at such an angle? It was really, really creepy. They went down like a missile and it blew up right in the streets of Philadelphia. It was scary. So my point is
7 people dead, including one in a car on the ground.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the people survived for a little bit on the first
Just
accident.
her mother was on there with the patient.
And this was just like when you go down that fast, you pass out. So they didn't feel anything when you hit that hard or anything. But I do think people suffered. Think people suffered on the other flight because I think they were alive when they hit into the Potomac River.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you don't think they died on impact?
No, I think they died on impact with this because they all passed out. When you go that fast down, your body can't handle it because of the pressure, and you'll pass out. Yes, and then you
pass out before you hit the water.
Before you hit even the ground. Hit the ground. I'm talking about the private jet.
Oh, these people, yeah.
Look at the video real quick.
6 Mexican nationals were on the plane.
Did you see the video of the private jet? It's horrific.
I have it here. I'm going to watch it.
Look
here
at real
in
quick. It
just a
takes 2
second.
seconds, man.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. You know I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't look at that. That was a huge story.
Okay. Well, I
It
hadn't
just
seen.
shows you your head's in the sand.
That is
like
not
no
true.
Other. You don't even look up
They
anything.
weren't even talking about this on the Today Show this morning. I don't think.
You're funny. Anyway, so crazy stuff going on, man. It is what it is.
So,
So anyway, that's just our opinion.
did
We love
people-
everybody.
Did people go?
So
Were they too quick to blame like DEI hires?
I didn't like
and
that
all?
off the bat. So when Trump came out,
Making it
listen to
political,
me.
man.
I'll explain it to you. When Trump came out and talked about that, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like it. Wait and see. But he knows more than you think when it comes to that, in my opinion. And I think that when we discuss and unveil everything that went down, that's why it takes so long. They kind of scrubbed the girl's social media and stuff like that because she was with she was one of the Biden administrators or whatever it is. I don't know. And so there could be some DEI involved in that. Fine. I don't like that off the bat though. Just wait until shit comes down because everybody's going to chirp him. That's exactly what happened. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like him coming out and saying DI, although he knows more than we do, even in that moment.
But then they were showing past congressional hearings with the head of the aviation industry.
Yeah.
And, his lack of experience and people questioning whether or not he should be
Did
in
you
charge.
hear what he said?
He couldn't answer anything.
He couldn't answer one fucking question about
Is he
anything
still in charge
aviation.
today?
He didn't answer one
Is he
question.
still
What
in
does that mean?
Is he still in charge?
Don't know.
I mean,
What does
they
that
might as well put me in charge of the aviation.
I know. He didn't answer one question.
I
What
would
does
have been
that
able
mean?
to. I would have been able to dance around those questions.
What does that mean? So
I don't know.
odd to me.
Listen, flying is very scary, man. I wish
No, it's not.
everybody safety.
No, it's not. You're actually wrong on that.
Well, I know.
You know what's
you
wrong?
don't see too many crashes. But
You know what's scary?
It's
Driving.
still scary.
You know what's scary? Driving with Andy. That's fucking scary. Flying is actually the most safe thing you could possibly do.
Okay.
Especially in the United States.
Okay.
I'm just correcting you.
I know that, but it's still
I'm
scary.
just correcting you.
And you, as an example, have told me in the past you don't like flying.
No, we don't.
You're not comfortable.
I'm
flying.
better now. I didn't like driving for a bit either, especially going across bridges.
Oh, you're better
Especially
now.
driving with you. No shit. Now my vertigo's over with. I don't know what the fuck happened. Now I'm fine flying.
Really?
I'm fucking jamming out, drinking wine, doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not scared on the freeway driving my car anymore. What the fuck happened
Then
to
why
me?
were you scared in my car?
Because you're a psychopath and you got problems.
Oh, God.
I love you. I love your family. I'll die for you. I would.
Would you?
If shit went down, I would protect your family like you can't believe. Just so you know.
Okay.
But your driving ain't good.
That's not true.
And you got a problem. It's all
My driving's great.
I got problems. Can't we see? We see my problems every fucking day. I'm a goddamn disaster. But you got yours too. And we need to help each other. That's all.
Okay,
No big
that's
deal.
fine.
Is
So
that
I'll
cool?
help you with yours. You help me with mine. Mine are a little easier to help with.
What the
Touchdown.
Jesus, motherfucker. You know? Holy shit. Juggling everything in the front seat.
All right. Tage Thompson, just gets destroyed by Stefan Nason in open ice. He lunges the shoulder right into his head. This kid was having an incredible game. I'm watching it as I was driving home from Louisville yesterday. I'm watching the game.
You're in Louisville.
Oh, that's where I was.
Why?
My daughter had soccer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually in a great
She
area.
do good?
Yeah, but it was in a great, fantastic area.
Louisville's goddamn Kentucky boy.
Well,
Damn right.
Yeah, it was nice. I'd never really been to Louisville.
Dang good.
I don't know if I'd ever go back on my own. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
cute little town.
But if I had a reason to go there, we went and visited the college soccer facilities.
Did it look pretty? Was it a
Yeah,
pretty city?
It's very
Clean?
nice, very clean.
Yeah. It's not Memphis.
It's just kind of like you feel like you're in the 1980s, man. Honestly, it's like very small little
I
neighborhoods
don't know
and
what that means.
a lot of small businesses.
DeLoreans.
No
cruising
small
around?
businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Post office.
Yeah. It's
that's
not.
old.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not all the
High tech stuff.
chains.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of small,
I
like,
get you.
local businesses and stuff like that on little streets that have everything.
Did she do good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Cool.
played well. And
Chloe, little shout out,
they're
girl.
gearing
What's up?
up. They've got a big
Love you, girl.
national event coming up in Dallas in a couple weeks, and then they.
Okay, don't get distracted.
Yeah. They whatever.
We,
So
we don't have to give her schedule out. No
Oh,
one
okay.
cares. But
Well,
go ahead.
you just distracted
I
me.
asked if she did good. 'Cause
Okay. Yes.
She's a
yes.
damn good athlete.
Yes. And so anyway, Tage Thompson just gets blown up, like I said, and nobody does anything on the ice. That is a problem. How do
No
you
wonder.
address that behind the scenes?
No wonder.
What do you do?
And I know you won the game.
Moving forward now with
And I know you won.
Buffalo, your best player. This guy's having an incredible game. He's your best. Some people say he's not your best player. I guess maybe Darlene is the best player. I don't know, but he is. If I'm buying a ticket to go watch the Buffalo Sabres, he's the first name that comes to mind that I'm going to watch play. Okay?
No one did a damn thing.
They didn't do it.
No wonder. No wonder it's been over a decade. No wonder.
You got Rob Ray
You got
in
Rob Ray.
between the benches.
You got Rob Ray the other night, and you showed all
Being
his honored. Rob Ray's honored for being a warrior, the most shit-kicking son of a bitch that ever came through that organization.
You
Shit
got
kicker.
Matthew Barnaby
You got
there. All
Barney,
these old school guys.
Brad May, my boy,
Yeah.
Maisie and Barney, shit kicker, bled for that organization, did anything to take care of their teammates and help their teammates and defend their teammates. And your main player Tage Thompson,
Your star.
your star,
One
your
of them.
everything
Yeah.
gets crushed, and nobody did a fucking
Mike.
thing. No wonder.
In a day and age
No
where
wonder.
the cleanest hits result in a melee on the ice. You know what I mean?
Pussies.
The cleanest hits in today's game result in an all-out line brawl or at least a fight, some type of confrontation.
Emotion.
And this time, he gets laid out. He's on the ice. He's destroyed. He's having a great game. And nothing happens. I said to myself, who was on the ice for the New Jersey Devils? You know what I'm saying? Was Scott Stevens on the ice? Was Ken Danico on the ice?
Was Christoph Oliwa there?
Like, who was on the ice that
Troy
Buffalo...
Crowder, was I there? Was any of these killers that went through? Eric Bolton, was he there? No. No. It's all Hughes, was he on the ice? Not Jack, because I know he's hurt.
Mhm.
Who is the big defenseman that scores a lot of goals on I know he was standing right
Hamilton?
there. Hamilton. He's going to get you. Grab somebody. That was such a bad look, man. They're like this. What happened? We don't know.
And could you imagine if
you know exactly what
if
happened.
you did that to a team like Florida, like Washington?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Those teams that you just know right off the bat when you watch them play how they just kind of have that togetherness that they play with. And there's a lot of other teams. Don't tell me. Listen, most teams, every team in the league, probably there would have been some type of emotion that would have come out of that. I couldn't believe it. And I mean, the icing on the cake is like,
no wonder.
is the fact that it was, your star player. If you're Tage Thompson, like, what's your response to that? Are you like, get me the fuck out of here?
Get me.
What am I doing?
The fuck
What am I
outta
even
here.
doing here?
Getting fucking rocked. No one even looks.
No one even looks.
Everybody's
at
just like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do either.
What's going on here?
What happened?
What happened?
And you see what happened?
Did you see? Let me
I
look
didn't
at the
even-
scoreboard.
What happened to Tage? Tage, you okay?
Let me see the replay before I do something. Get out of here.
Tage, are you okay?
No wonder. Wonder what Rob Ray said on the broadcast.
Well, you know what, man? They don't. I listened, and I don't think, from what I heard, the clip, it didn't go on and on and on. And this is just the reality that you get with a lot of home team broadcast. I mean, you can only take it so far, right?
Razor
Some
don't care.
people choose to be more opinionated than others. Some have the luxury to be more opinionated than others. Some have the equity to truly give their opinion, and they can survive whatever. Some people just feel like they just got to take the company line. So I don't know. What I heard on the clip, there wasn't really any
Was
true.
it Razor?
Yeah, it was. But there wasn't really any like crazy reaction. Now it cut off, so I don't know what was said
Yeah.
after that. So I don't want to say.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and things. I don't think Razor cares. I don't think he cares. I think no, he does care about the team.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about speaking
The
his opinion.
repercussions of.
Speaking his opinion, what are you gonna do? You gonna fire him? Oh, okay. Now you're really fucked.
Yeah.
Now, because people still watch because he's great
Right.
and he was a legend
Yeah.
and a warrior that you'll never see ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he speaks his mind about something like that, you think they're gonna be like, we can't have this.
I just would
You know.
imagine that he would. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine he probably did.
Disheveled organization.
But you missed the playoffs for year after year after year,
There it is.
10, 11 years.
There it is, Andy.
And you're like, well, I wonder why. What
We
is
don't
wrong?
know.
Well, just show that highlight.
We don't know.
And some people are sitting back like, oh, okay, yeah, so if they fight the guy, then they're going to make the playoffs.
It's
No,
it's
but it's a sign
standard.
of a bigger issue.
It's a stand. Yeah, exactly. Culture. What's your culture?
Didn't Lindy Ruff come out and be like, well, a couple guys wanted to go at him?
Oh, big time. Oh, they were going crazy. He's choking on his tongue.
Mm.
I don't know what happened.
No, I will say this.
outta
And so I would
here.
imagine Nason's going to get some type of suspension. Now, Ryan
Yeah.
Hartman.
Oh yeah, a little dink ball there,
Now,
man.
listen, he's done shit like that in the past.
No, we chirped him for it.
He's
It was against a kid.
Is that when Jammer got
was it
yelled at
Perfetti?
on Sportsnet?
Yes.
What would you do if they did that to your son?
Yeah, it was Jennifer Botterill. Okay. Although I kind of agreed.
Yeah, I know. I'm not taking one side or the next.
Because there's ways to get back at guys on the ice,
Mhm.
man. It's not just, I'm going to cross-check him in the face.
Right.
Like, no, fucking catch him with his goddamn, or bite him and
Yeah.
beat him with your fists.
Mhm.
You're not going to get a suspension if you do that. You might get a game if you jump the guy,
Yeah.
but you cross-check him in the face.
Right off the face.
You look, dude, you're dinged for a while.
Yeah.
You're going to be under
So
a
he
microscope.
slammed Tim Stutzler. I think it was Stutzler, right?
Yeah, it was.
Slammed his head down to the ice.
I know,
He's
off the
bleeding.
jaw. Didn't have to do that. That's a dirty play, man. He's a
Mhm.
dirty player. He's going to get fucking 7 games, dude.
I think a lot of people would say that he's dirty.
He is.
It doesn't mean that I wouldn't take him on my team.
I don't care. I'd have him on my team like you can't
But,
believe.
I mean, it is what it is. The evidence is clear.
He's gonna
Like,
get
some
7
people are
games.
dirty. People call Tom Wilson dirty. They call Brad Marchand dirty.
Yeah.
They call Sam Bennett dirty. Man, these guys are all great
Gudis.
players.
Oh, I'd have them
Gudis,
all.
you know what I'm saying? They're all great players.
Brady, they call dirty.
Yeah. They used to call Matthew dirty, remember?
He is dirty.
When he was like, you know,
I like dirty players.
doing shit with Cassian and Drew Doughty and all that earlier in his career.
I like dirty players, but I like dirty players that use their body instead of their weapon.
And answer the bell.
Yeah. I like dirty players that use their body instead of their weapon.
Yeah.
Don't use your weapon. Don't cross-check a guy. Don't slam their head on the ice. Sometimes that happens, man. You're pissed off. I get it. But he's going to get dinged.
Does he just black out? Does he just...
Yep.
The wires just cross and
and
he just can't control himself.
Yep. It happens to all of us. Well, a lot of us, you know. It does, especially on the ice when you get bumped around, guys chirping, this and that. You blow up, and all of a sudden, psh, you know, just like a kettle, man.
I hate your country. Yeah, those are the messages I'm getting right now.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Can you talk to those people real quick?
I love all you. And I don't want you to suffer, man. I don't. But tell nerd fuck Trudeau to seal the border. That's it. There's too much drugs coming in here. It's killing a lot of Americans, man. Trump's got to put his foot down on that. But we do not want to see any goddamn... We love all you guys, man. We do business up there. Like, it affects us directly. Shut the border down. No big deal. All good. And it might happen maybe tonight. Another big hit. Who am I thinking of? Big hit, Andy.
Oh, there's been a lot of them.
Monster. One of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
Who?
Alex Pietrangelo by
God
Coley.
Damn, boy.
Will Coley from the New
like
York
him.
Rangers.
I like him.
He came from distance.
He came from downtown Chinatown.
I don't want to say this, but like that's an old school. That's how hitters used to hit. You kind of made a living at doing that.
Smash
coming from distance, and if you can get them when they're just off the wall too.
Right when they make the pass. Right when they're extended.
You don't see Petro get hit like that.
He had no time to turn. He had no time to
and
put
then
his shoulder down.
What was the reaction from Vegas?
They go, "What's up? Boom! Center ice,
Gloves
let's
are
go.
off.
Let's go." It's so funny. Cam and Strick tweeted that out, but they didn't show the hit on that, which pissed me off.
What do you mean? Oh, they just showed the fight?
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, you got to show the hit too.
Oh, they just showed the fight?
Yeah. It's all good. We love all you.
Yeah.
But that was a missile of a hit. It was clean. I don't think he got a penalty on it. Did he? I don't think he did. I think there was a ref right there.
What would he get?
Charging
penalty?
Listen, when you hit that hard and destructive, they'll find a way to put you in the box.
I just don't see too many hitters nowadays who are looking to make that hit. And in reality,
Andy.
Alex Pietrangelo, in that situation, he's not expecting to get hit, man. He's been playing for how long? He's probably never been hit like that. He's gotten hit a lot, and maybe he has been hit similar or whatever. You know, guys have hit him. But he normally protects himself, and he's a big guy who doesn't get hit like that.
He got
you know
rocked.
what I'm saying?
And I don't want him to be hurt. He popped right up.
He did.
You know, he's not playing in the Four Nations. He's probably like, no wonder I'm not playing. I'm taking hits like this, and I'm grinding it every goddamn night to win a Stanley Cup. I don't need to play against.
He has an ailment.
Now he does.
Now he does.
No shit.
He should have just waited for another week.
He's just like, no, I need to rest my body. Actually, I respect the shit out of that.
I do too.
I'm sorry.
I think he's probably like, listen, we don't really get paid enough for this.
No.
Like,
I love my team, and I need to be healthy for my team to go on another run. That's what he's thinking.
I just wouldn't read too much into it. I just would say he just didn't want to. He just would rather not play.
Yeah, you might be right on that.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything more
Trust me on that one.
I agree. I know what you mean.
I think he just didn't care to go play in this tournament. Now, if it's the Olympics, he's got national pride, and I think he would like to play.
Yeah.
But he's played in the Olympics.
Yep.
He's won Stanley Cups. He's been to All-Star games. He's been to different international competitions. He's played in the World Juniors. He's done a lot of different things. Like playing in the Four Nations, for him, may not mean as much as it does for a guy like Crosby, who's done it all as well, you know, who's going to go do it and going to play with McDavid and whatever. Listen, the players have a choice in this situation, and any player who chooses, who says, you know what, I'd rather just spend the time with my family and go hang out for a few weeks and not play, you have that right to make that decision.
No doubt. No, you're right on that. It's not more. It's nothing bigger than I don't want to do it.
No, it's not like I want to save.
You're right.
I want to be healthy for another Stanley Cup playoff run. You know, that sounds good and it sounds very heroic, but I just wouldn't read too deep into it.
And if you think Andy's wrong on this, you're wrong. Just so you know. That's all I'm going to say. Trust me. So, but yeah, a lot of stuff going on, man. Another, the JT Miller thing, dude. You know, I look at it like, if people are chirping like, oh, like you got rid of fucking JT Miller because the fucking Elias Pettersson can't handle him. You got rid of that fucking warrior. That warrior. You see him play the other night?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I scores a couple goals, rocking guys, doing this, doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, God damn. You got rid of him because little Elias couldn't handle it? Are you kidding me? I don't know. Now, he did take a 10-day fucking break, which we chirped him for, and we're like, what?
Yeah, but I think that was...
I know. I think that was a team saying...
I said that I think he got wind that the team was going to ask him to basically step away, and he got out in front of it and said, all right, I'm out of here. That game, remember? And we're going to talk to JT at some point in time.
We like him a lot.
And find out.
Yep.
And remember he was benched by Tocchet?
Yep.
Although I've always felt like knowing kind of like Tocchet's reputation and how he was as a player and a little bit how he thinks as a coach, like sometimes, and I'm not saying this is 100% how it went down, but a lot of times a coach will ask another player to get another player going. You know what I mean? And, you know, maybe there was some of that where Tocchet was using JT Miller to try to get like some type of pulse out of Pettersson, who wasn't performing in the playoffs, and just his overall production has been shrinking over the last several months. So, and they committed a lot of money to him. You know what I mean? Like something's off with Pettersson, there's no doubt. And, you know, like I believe you probably could have moved him, right? There was talks like Columbus was interested, Buffalo was interested.
How can you not be?
He maybe would have done something if Tage Thompson got hit. You never know. Like if he was in Buffalo. You know, I mean, there was talk that there was trades on the table between Carolina and Pettersson, you know, with Vancouver, and talks between Carolina and JT Miller, which is why I said I think why Colorado like panicked a little bit. Like they're talking to Vancouver also. They've got great players available. We got to accept this deal and get out in front of it and do this deal. So
that's right.
You know, but to move on from a player, there's only so many of those JT Millers around.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't feel like the rest of the team. And there may be one or two guys, I don't pretend to know. I'm sure there were a couple other guys, but I don't feel like the rest of the team shared the same opinion that Pettersson shares about JT Miller. I bet you a number of those guys are like, fuck, we just lost a great player.
We just lost our heart and soul.
Yeah.
You know, and you see it on the ice, the way he plays, man. Like Elias, the Pettersson plays kind of like that Patrick Laine a little bit. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, I got the puck. I got the puck. Yeah. You know, like
I saw Bruce Boudreau make some comments because, you know, Barbecue Bruce was just there not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, JT Miller was the guy. He arranges all the team parties.
That's right.
He takes it, you know, he's like the true leader behind the scenes that's doing this and doing that.
Bringing the young kids for Thanksgiving, everything, all that stuff. You done fucked up. And I don't know, JT probably had something to do with it. Pettersson probably had something to do with it. Everybody involved probably had a little bit to do with it. Mm-hmm. But in the end, I look at this, you done fucked up getting rid of a player like that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Brandon Saad? I mean, first off, for the Blues to get rid of that contract, I mean, it is like Doug Armstrong finds a way to do certain things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, I don't know if a lot of other GMs have to be looking at themselves, be like, how do I do that? How do I get rid of a player that I don't necessarily want to move forward with, who's under contract, who's making $4.5 million? How do I just get him to tear up the contract? You know, so they try to send him down, and there must have been maybe some other stuff going on behind the scenes that led up to this point. I don't think they just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to put him on waivers. So I think they tried to get this thing, you know, moving in the right direction and whatever. So, you know, Saad's a different type of guy.
Made a lot of money.
So he had the luxury of saying, you know, I'm not going to go play in the minors.
I don't blame him.
And, you know, some people are like, how can he turn down $6 million that was still owed to him between this year and next year? And for Doug Armstrong, could you imagine that phone call to call Tom Stillman? Hey, we don't have to pay him another dime. So we opened up $4.5 million in cap space, and we don't have to pay him the remaining millions of dollars that are owed to him. For nothing. We just tore up the contract.
Or trade him and send a pick over because we had to get rid of him.
Or eat money. Yeah, because, listen, that's the reality. Look at all these teams that were interested in signing Brandon Saad. It's not like he can't play anymore. Listen, I'm sure he'll score some goals for Vegas.
He will.
He gets hot. He can carry you for a homestand. He can get hot over a 3, 4, 5 game period where he scores goals. and he's got the speed, and he's got a heavy stick, and he competes at times, right? Comes out of the corner with pucks, strips pucks, does all that type of stuff. And there were teams that were interested, but they weren't interested in his cap hit at $4.5 million. So once they tore it up and he's a free agent, you can go get him for $1.5, $1 million, whatever teams were negotiating. Ended up signing for 1.5 at Vegas. It just made the most sense.
But you know why?
Prorated.
But you know why he didn't want to go down?
Yeah.
Because the American League is a fucking disaster compared
Why would
to...
he's an NHL player.
Do you realize the difference between playing in NHL and playing in Springfield? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like living in the United States and then living in Ghana. I'm telling you, you do not want to play down there when you've been up for 14 years and won 2 Stanley Cups. You do not want to play down there. It is a grind. Mm-hmm. You have fucking salad dressing over your goddamn Hugo Boss suit when you're laying on the fucking bus for 8 hours. Hugo Boss doesn't exist anymore. Or whatever the hell. You don't want that. You're eating Subway. You're playing in front of 300 people. It is a disaster compared to the NHL. It is a wake-up call.
No, it's just like 100%. So
a wake-up call.
They couldn't trade him. When they put him on waivers, that was the first thought that came to mind for me. Is he really going to report to Springfield? I just don't see it.
Hell no.
He's made almost $60 million. He has that luxury.
Yeah.
And now he wants to bet on himself. Hey, I'll go sign for a prorated deal and slowly but surely try to chip away at that money that I just gave up. And from what I understand, he grew up in a family that has some money.
He'll be fine. That helps too.
You know what I mean?
Can I give another shout
He
out?
doesn't need the money.
No, he didn't need the money if his parents were broke.
Like the $6 million is a lot. But if he can finish strong, he can probably sign a 1-year deal for next year at $3 million, $3.5 million, caps going up, whatever.
Scores a couple big time goals.
I think he was owed $3.6 million in cash next year. If he shows that he can still play, maybe he can sign a 1-year deal and
boom, you made up.
Eat into some of that money he lost.
So you're buried in the minors.
I like Sutter though. I wish him the best of luck.
You're buried in this minors. Somebody's going to hit you weird.
And he's at just over 900 games. I'm sure he wants to get to 1,000.
Of course.
You're not getting to listen. If he goes down to the minors,
it's
at that cap hit. He knows he's burying himself. Like he won't ever get out of there.
He's gonna get hit by some guy in defense.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna come rescue him. And break him out and be like, hey, okay, yeah, we're gonna take on, because he's not a $4.5 million player anymore. And this is what happens when teams sign players in free agency. Sometimes you have to sign a deal that you're uncomfortable with, knowing that at the tail end of the deal you may not love it, but that really is the only option you have at the time to get the player. So they had to offer him the 5th year probably to get him to come to St. Louis. It's just like Ryan Suter when he signed with Dallas. The Blues offered a 3-year deal, and Dallas put a 4th year on the table, and they got Suter, and the Blues didn't. And then guess what happened? They bought him out of the 4th year, right? So
happens, man.
They didn't want to give Saad a 5-year deal, but if you wanted to get the player, especially at the time in free agency when they signed him, it wasn't the first couple of days. I think it was a few days deep into free agency. You want to bring a player of that caliber who had won, and the Blues are coming off a Stanley Cup and whatnot, and you want to go for it again, then you had to offer that 5th year. And good on him and his agent to get the 5th year, but
he's on a good team.
Now he'll never get paid that 5th year. He tore it up. So essentially, he signed a 3.5-year deal with the Blues.
He'll be okay, and hopefully Petro's okay too, because they got a hell of a team. They really do, and he's going to score a couple big time goals. Team. He's going to score. I'll give another little shout out. Mm-hmm. New York Islanders doing dang good right now.
Oh yeah, man.
You're doing dang. Tony DeAngelo. I know you get chirped by a lot of people, man.
Got a couple of goals.
Got a couple of dang goals. People counted you right out. And Lou's like, no. Yeah. I like taking guys in that are a little bit controversial, and I will settle them down. Mm-hmm. And Patrick Waugh will settle them down. And some of these veterans on this Islander team will settle him down. And he's going to come in and he's going to play. And that's exactly what they're doing. They won, 7 in a row? I don't know what happened last night, if they played or not. I got to look at that. Yeah. But I'm going to give a little Lou and Patty and Tony DeAngelo a little shout out right there. He's a nice little overtime winner, baby. Let's go. Good for you.
I'm glad you did that. Because he, they lost to the Panthers yesterday, 6-3.
Okay.
But he scored another goal in the game, I believe.
Yeah, but Panthers are good, man. So you're okay. You're still working your way up. 7 games. Hell, the Blues haven't won 3 in a row all year long. So to be able to tally off 7 games in a row, You bring in a new player, Scotty Prunovich, who is a former Blue, goes over there. He's putting points up right now. It's just weird how when you change...
D'Angelo had an assist.
When you change environments, sometimes it brings the best out of you. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you'll sign a big-time ticket with the Toronto Maple Leafs that David Clarkson did back in the day, and nothing works out. But sometimes you get fucking thrown in the mix in some other team, and all of a sudden you're like, no, I'm a free bird now, baby, and I'm doing my thing.
I know. Especially coming back from Russia, having to go over to Russia.
Oh, God.
But, Perunovic and D'Angelo, by the way, he's got 3 points in 5 games. So
okay.
we wish him the best. He's come on with us several months ago.
Yes,
we had a great
did.
conversation with him.
You come on here and speak for an hour and a half. Damn right. We're going to root for you,
So
buddy.
I listen, he's the type of guy that's got to be in the right situation.
Yeah.
Surrounded by the right people.
That's it.
And
That's it, Andy.
as long as that's the case, I think he can be a very productive player for you.
Of course, he's a good player.
But you put him in an environment, like sometimes, he's probably his competitive nature takes over, man, and he just can't control himself when things don't, maybe go a little bit south. But Perunovic, the Blues could have put him on waivers, right? But then somebody would have claimed him. So they got a draft pick. They probably would have liked to see him play the last several weeks.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for him.
But at the same time, they couldn't send him down without having him go through waivers, and they didn't want to lose him for nothing. But he does have some talent. He makes some high-risk plays that he executes. Like he's a great passer. And, he's not blessed with a ton of size, right? So defensively,
he's like your
size.
He's
He's
not
a
big guy
little
at all.
bit deficient, when it comes to boxing out and being able to defend down low.
Move
It's not
guys a little bit.
It's not easy to do, but
it's not.
can he play on the power play? And can he move the puck around a little bit? Yeah, he can.
Yeah. So we're giving a little shout out Islanders and all that. I know you lost the other night, but it is what it is. But one more thing, Dallas is doing a little stuff. We're waiting for Dallas to make some sort of move because of Tyler Seguin getting injured. I don't know when Tyler's coming back. Was it shoulder surgery?
Well, they just got Michael Granlund, right?
That's what I mean. That's what I was bringing up.
Oh.
And Cody Ceci, right?
Yeah, both of them.
So from San Jose, a couple first rounders, whatnot. Dallas is going for it. We're wondering what Dallas was going to do.
Oh.
We talked about that. We're like, what are they going to do? You got a little bit of cap space because of the injury to Tyler Seguin. Don't know when he's coming back. Hopefully for them, he comes back right at the end and he's fucking skating. All of a sudden he's okay for the playoffs. But don't know his trajectory on his injury. But they got a couple good players, man.
It's
Let's see what
interesting
happens.
that he left San Jose. And, San Jose needs some good play. He's had a great year for them. He's one of only a handful, maybe one or two forwards in the league that leads their team in even strength, maybe of forwards, but leads the team in even strength ice time, forward ice time, and power play ice time and PK ice time.
Yeah, he's
on the ice all the time for San Jose.
He's an American League team.
And he's a good player, right? But they've had some, Tyler Toffoli and some other veteran guys.
Yep.
Like, he didn't want to leave there. I think, sometimes, you try to.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Wait. You're telling me.
He liked it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to play for fucking Dallas?
No, he's okay with that, but he wasn't asking to leave.
I know, but he's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he would have been fine with staying.
And losing
Does that
every
make
game?
sense?
No.
No, he would have been okay if he stayed, if he didn't get moved. Like, he didn't. Let me just point this out. He didn't dislike San Jose. Now, did San Jose get the best return? I mean, they got like a late first-round pick. I don't know. It's supposed to be a very weak draft. I was talking to a scout today.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Who's telling me that, you pick in the top 10. Like, this Schaefer kid is hands down going first overall. That's not going to change.
From where?
He's a Canadian kid, plays in the CHL. But he played for Canada in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
And got hurt early on, so we didn't have a chance to watch him play too much.
Yeah.
But he is hands down the number 1 overall pick. And then 2 through 10, you're probably going to get a good player. But after that, it's just kind of like, I don't know. That's just the reputation this draft class has. It's not a very deep draft, not a great draft. So I don't know. You get a late first versus a guy that's a really good leader for some of these young guys that are in there. I don't know.
So Brady's probably like, I kind of liked him.
Yeah.
You know, like
he got me the puck.
So if I'm San Jose, okay, a couple first round, okay, like where are they at? Like where are they at? The 20 pick, 20th pick, or whatever it is. But like if I'm Celebrini, that's your baby. That's your baby. And you want him to be around some of these vets that give him the puck and fucking bump his fucking confidence. Like, what are we doing?
You don't think Connor Bedard would take a Michael Granlund on his team?
Well, yeah. You need guys that give you the damn puck so you learn how to play the game with good players. Now they have an American League team. They really do. And this kid's still dominating, doing his thing. I don't know where he's at point production as of late, but he's had some big time sequences where he
Yeah,
went
he
2 or
was a
3 weeks where he's
point-per-game guy,
dominating.
man.
So now you get rid of your best player to help surround him. I
For
don't know.
not much return.
That's what I mean. So that's why I thought like Grant was like, no, I'd go.
He didn't. Oh, I mean, he's there. He's fine with it. You know, like
Well, you would hope.
he's 32, Cam. You know, I think he skates well enough and he's playing well enough where you can factor that he's probably going to be a decent player into his mid-30s, right? He probably has 2 years left
quick,
at least.
Yeah,
He's quick. He makes, he's
good, dude.
He's good player.
But if I'm Granlund and I don't want to leave San Jose, I feel like that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm looking at, if I'm him, I'm like, get me the motherfucker.
He's bounced around though a little
Get
bit.
me out of here. I want to be on a competitive team. You know how bad it is losing? I don't
Yeah.
care if you're in San Jose and you're making money. It doesn't matter. You lose every fucking game.
I know.
Get me the fuck out of here. I'm dominating. Let me play for a contending team. Yeah, he wanted to get out of there, dude.
They got that young kid Eklund too.
Yep.
I'm sure these guys
They're
like
gonna be
having
fine.
some.
Oh yeah, they'll be fine eventually. They're gonna get some more picks.
They just keep trading everybody and getting first round. I mean, I guess.
You know,
I think they're
That's
going to
what
be
you
good
do.
at some point.
that's what you do. You know, eventually a couple of these guys are gonna.
But I feel like I could be an NHL executive if you just like, give me a first.
Give me a first. That's it. There
I'll
you
try-
go.
there you go. You get them.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm here. Can I get a first? Okay, you can have them.
Do you think our guest liked us at the end of this interview?
I want to know.
What do you guys think? I asked him a stupid question too, by the way.
I did too.
You did? I thought you were good.
Really?
I chirp Andy a lot, and we all know that.
I was trying to be as respectful as possible.
These are the interviews that I need Andy to be on this fucking game. These are Andy interviews where Andy knows all the little details of when I try to compute all that, trying to ask questions, and it doesn't work for me like it works for you. Like you're in the game, you understand all. So these are Andy kind of interviews. But I asked him a stupid question. I go, what I say to him? I go, hey, did you and Tom Dundon just say, what's his fuck? Who they get? I'm blanking on
Rantanen?
I go, did you guys think they say, hey, Rantanen's available? Do what you got to do. He's like, no, we had to discuss this and do that. I'm like, I know, I shouldn't even. I shouldn't have asked it. That was
very
dumb.
bad question.
That's why I said
Not prepared.
No, I tried to simplify the question.
Yeah.
I tried to simplify the question, and I sounded like a jackass.
I was trying to
big
have
deal.
fun with them, like, can you go on the ice and
Jesus,
shoot a
Andy.
one-timer and stuff like that? Like,
Andy.
only because he is,
Andy chirped him
he's
a little bit.
like a genius from Harvard and Cal Berkeley, and he had fun with that question. He actually,
I don't think he did.
no?
No.
God,
Andy done fucked up.
I did not.
No,
I
you
didn't
did.
mean. I
Yep.
wasn't trying
My
to be
question was-
demeaning.
My question was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, but Andy was being a dick.
Oh my God!
Because
you told me
if-
I
no, 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 no.
wasn't privately.
If
'cause
Andy-
I'm gonna have
because
to take it out.
If I'm, no, you're
I
not.
might have to
No,
take it
no,
out.
you're not.
I'll have to listen to it.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Because this is going out
I
tomorrow.
think he
No.
didn't. I don't think he minded the question. He kind of like.
Andy's chirp. Like I asked if Rod Brindamore asked him to work out with him. I thought that was cute. That's a
Okay.
cute question to ask. Then Andy trumps me. Donald trumps me. And goes, hey, have you ever skated with the guys? Can you shoot a puck? I'm like, oh my God. He's like, no, they're not going to ask me to be a seventh defenseman.
Okay.
anytime
Yeah,
soon."
I know.
He doesn't like
But-
you.
Oh, that's not
He doesn't
true.
like you.
Dude.
And if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like me. So now I got a problem.
Okay, I've talked to him in the past.
I'm just telling you.
and he's been very helpful.
I'm surprised you didn't ask about his
I'm
red
a
hair.
big. I'm surprised you didn't because you talk about
Because I'm not
red
an asshole.
hair all the
I'll
time.
chirp him now,
Yeah.
but not in the
Okay.
interview.
But I'm a big fan of Tom Dundon, and I've always been very supportive of Tom. And I love the fact that Tom Dundon does his own thing. Cam.
Tommy
He
boy,
doesn't
what's
give a
up?
shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need to do what everybody else does and just hire the guy that played in the NHL or who's been climbing the charts
Yeah, I get
in
that. Mm-hmm.
in hockey operations and do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to get the guy that I want in this chair because, listen, Tom likes to be involved, right? And this probably is a better situation and a better fit for him and the organization because he kind of checks the boxes that he needs him to check in terms of the math part of it. You know what I'm saying, Cam? Like the salary cap part of it, the analytic part of it, all that type of stuff. And so he gives him what he needs from that standpoint with, what he's good at, which is the analytics. And that's why he's moved his way all the way up. I give him all the credit in the world for being able to do that. Talking about Eric Tulsky. He's interviewed with other teams. So other teams obviously had him on their radar as well as a general manager. And he's very good at what he does. And now he's running a team, just pulled off one of the best trades that we've seen in a while, certainly for the Carolina Hurricanes. Although, can I say this? And listen to this part. What do you do if you're Eric Tulsky? What do you do if you're Tom Dundon? If all of a sudden Mikko Rantanen doesn't want to stay? Don't you need to know before the trade deadline? What if Carolina decided, I want to flip Mikko Rantanen at the trade deadline because I know he doesn't want to stay? I mean, does it really make sense to say, well, we're going to see if he likes it? Once he gets here, we'll see if Sebastian Aho can talk him into it. Jamal Mayers brought this up on something we were talking about the other day, and I thought he made a fantastic point, basically being
Jammer, baby, what up?
being like, you need to know now, like, do you want to stay or not? Carolina can't just keep losing. They just moved Martin Necas. Martin Necas is a great player, man, who puts up a lot of points. I know he had kind of gone a little bit downhill, gone cold a little bit before the trade was made, but you know, once he finds his groove there in Colorado, people are going to see it, and you're seeing it already. He's making plays and whatnot. So you just moved a first-round pick who still had a year left on his deal, who was your leading scorer, and now you bring this guy in, and I know you want him to help you win a Stanley Cup, but at what cost? Are you willing to lose these guys and then lose Mikko Rantanen and get nothing in return, or do you need to move this guy before the trade deadline to make sure you can recapture some of what you've already given up?
Or are you a step ahead of the game and you're like, no, he does this. This makes sense for him. I don't know how you have those talks before the trade happens too much.
There's not much time, man.
The bottom line is,
you put money on the table, Cam. He's got the Mikko Rantanen has the Carolina Hurricanes by the balls.
By the ball sack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, and I ain't letting go. So like
that Dodge Ram
so
in South Springs.
You guys just gave up Marty Necas and other pieces to get me. So if you want me, here's what I want. You gonna pay me that?
14.5.
Okay, pay me that, and then I'll sign.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if you try to negotiate and be like, no, we think we want to pay you
set him back.
13, and he says no.
It's going to set you back big time.
I mean, can you just
You're right here.
You move Marty Necas for a rental? Like, is that good business is my question for you.
Well, if they win the cup, it is.
Okay.
So, but we don't know that. How's our goaltending situation? You know, like we don't know. Anything can happen.
And that is the answer. They win the cup, then obviously it's a great move. You never second guess it.
Sometimes you got to be ballsy, and I like that.
It's a ballsy move.
But don't be stupid. So I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit more to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is...
But Jamal brought that up, and I just feel free to give us your thoughts on that. Let me just say this. Eric Tulsky's story is unlike any story we've ever seen, and unlike any story I think we'll ever see again. Besides in the NHL.
I was going to say, besides baseball. Mm-hmm. This is like the Moneyball.
Now, let me call a timeout. If he goes on and has a dynasty run here in Carolina, they win a couple of cups, and he's the man behind it, and you get the real impression that he's completely in charge of that organization, then it could open the door for other geniuses who are hockey fans who know nothing about the game or don't follow the game. But
he does follow the game. He was writing out articles and stories just like you did when you were young. Yeah. He was blogging like you.
He was doing that.
He was crunching fucking numbers down, and then he was presenting them.
I'm not saying he didn't know anything. I'm just saying if you have these guys who
never played
would be in his position at Harvard, who are very smart.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you plug in X, Y, and Z and provide some level of analytics that'll help us win?
Do you skate with the boys?
That's terrible. Because I wasn't being like that. In fact, Cam, what did I say to you afterwards? I felt bad about that, remember?
Real bad.
Oh, you're trying to...
I loved it.
You did.
Fuck yeah, man. You got to ask that question, dude. Like,
okay, well then say that.
But I'm still going to chirp. He doesn't like us anymore. It's all good.
You think?
Nah, it's all right. He forgot about it. He's got other things going on. He's trying to sign fucking Rantanen right now. You know, a lot of drama going on in the NHL. Ovi's he scored the other night too. God dang. Who'd they play the other night? Where they're losing and then he's come back and this goddamn Washington Capitals team, man. They just find ways to squeak points out. Ovi finds ways to score goals, not just empty netters. He had a one-time in the other day, another goal the other day. Like, they find ways to win hockey games. Are they that deep? Who the fuck did they just play? And they're down by a couple, and all of a sudden just watching, all of a sudden they come back and they make it interesting. They get a point out of it. They do this, they do that. Good for you, Washington, man. Everybody still thinks that they are a fake team. They still do. You look at all the pundits.
Who, Washington?
Washington.
Logan Thompson just got a new deal, man.
No shit. I'm just saying that people are like, nah, they're fake. They're fake. They're fake.
Ovi's scoring every night.
Ovi's scoring every fucking night.
He's going to break this record before the Four Nations.
And they're winning. It's not like they are taking Ovi and what's going on with this whole race, and they're coming around him.
Oh,
and
he's elevated the entire environment.
Everybody. It's unbelievable.
They're all playing for him.
If that was anybody else, if that was in a situation like that, people are like, okay, it's all about him. No, he's like bringing everybody on board. Like, jump on the ship, baby. We're going. It's not just about me. It's about winning too. So it's really interesting. I like that Capitals
I wonder
team.
if he addressed the team before the season.
Probably.
And never said
He's
that.
just like, listen, dude, I'm gonna work.
He's like, they're gonna make this all about, but this is all about all of us. Man.
I want to win again. I want to jump into a fucking fountain in Washington and waterboard myself like Osh did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get naked and run around Washington, D.C. Yeah. I want to have 15 fucking Russian statues of me in Washington, just so you know, everywhere, because I want again. That's what he wants.
Okay.
And rightfully so. That's my boy right there, dude. Because here's the deal. If you're a player and you have a guy that breaks down and critiques hockey every fucking day, critiques that guy on the wall, critiques what he did with that shot, critiques this, critiques that, and I take a hockey stick and I give it to you and I say, make a sauce pass. You're like, I don't know. What do you mean? Here's a hockey stick. What would you do on the wall here? Show me. And they're like, I don't know. Hey, make a little backhand.
I got a meeting.
I'm breaking.
I don't have time right now, guys.
Take this hockey stick and show me how to make a sauce pass real quick. You're breaking down every play. What would you do on a wall here? Explain it to me. They'll have no idea. They'll make this. How do I hold it? No idea. So there's that's why people, I would say, Chaser, some of these old school motherfuckers, look at some of these pundits and they're like, whoa. Like, I can get you. Yeah, you could break down analytics. Here's a hockey stick. Show me how to do something. And they're like, well, I don't know.
I bet you if I was an NHL player, I probably would think the same way.
You were that close.
If I had one game.
You were. Andy was this goddamn close.
If I played one game.
You would too. You're like that now, and you didn't play. You're like that now, and you didn't play.
Oh, you already called me Chaser once. Now you're doing that again here.
We love him.
Yeah, we do.
What's wrong with him? That's a compliment.
Okay, fine.
Well,
what do you think he thinks?
Chaser.
If we asked
Let's
him,
get him on again.
If we asked him his opinion,
there's only like people ask, God, you should maybe get a third guy on. We're like, okay. There's only a couple dudes that if there was legit that we had on with us talking this shit.
Who could do it?
It's two guys.
Who could do it?
It's Chaser and Prongs.
Yes.
That's fucking it. Of all the people we've had on that could keep up with even like talking politics, like Prongs and Chaser, holy
Prongs
fuck.
is very busy right now, though.
He's very busy. He was on the other day. I listened to him. He was great the other day.
Was he? You watched the Amazon game?
No. He was on a radio station, did a good interview too.
Okay.
It'd be Chaser, but he's just, he would too, actually. He loves coming on here.
Chaser? Oh my God.
He feels free.
Here's the deal, Chaser. If you want to join us,
it's our boy, man.
We'll negotiate what percentage
you ain't negotiating. Like, Andy's a great negotiator. But
Chaser will be like, I'm putting tariffs on your.
He would tariff us so bad. We'd be fucked.
But if he's going to bring in some income. I would consider
bringing some income,
but he's got to give his honest opinion on everybody.
It'd be the Chaser show in a week, and we'd be fucked. We'd be producing it. Maddie would be sitting back with you, just editing everything.
Could you imagine the Chase and Strick podcast?
The Chase and Stick podcast. Ryan Lundberg the other day, we had a video when Tyson Berry.
He meant Strick.
No.
I talked to him on the phone.
No, he had no idea.
He called me Strick every time.
Nah, he called you Stick.
Strick.
Maddie. He called him Stick, and people were tripping on social media. Ryan, baby, I love you, Ryan Lomberg, baby. What's up? God, that's funny.
He was cool as shit. I'm on the Cam and
Stick podcast. He's like, what's his name? Stick. Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, man. All right. Well, it's 12 o'clock.
Well, we've
gone. Jesus H. Christ.
You got me rattled now. I don't Please tell Carolina.
Tell who?
Dude, please.
I didn't do anything.
Because like they're mad. They're probably going to get mad about that.
I didn't do anything.
They're going to think that. Okay,
I'm protecting him.
Well, no, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm protecting him from bullies because that's what I've done my whole life.
No,
I stick up.
You're
I am anti-bully.
What's the word I'm looking for?
I stick up for.
Okay.
I stick up for the
What's
weak.
the word I'm looking for?
Don't know.
You're when you do that on social media and stuff.
Virtue signal.
You're virtue signaling. You're virtue signaling.
100%.
Okay. Well, then admit that.
Funny how that works.
Okay.
You do it all the time. I can't do it now.
Okay. You're doing it to try to put yourself in the good graces, even though he thought you were just a complete. I mean,
moron.
He can't even.
He thinks I'm a goddamn.
He's like, who's this Neanderthal?
Who's this moron?
Yeah, we didn't have these guys at
At least
Harvard.
I wasn't a dick to him.
I was not. Dude, you said I did a great job
He
already.
might have thought I was mentally, not there. Okay. At least I wasn't a dick.
Okay. First Form brings us the Cam and Strick podcast. Enjoy this interview with Eric Tulsky. Honestly, it's better. It's
pretty good.
It's a great conversation.
He's interesting, man.
He's very interesting. And we wanted to respect his time, and we got a lot of respect for him, dude. He pulled off the trade of the year, dude. We give him all the credit in the world, and give him all the credit in the world for him to be able to get to where he's at.
The
at
Lakers
this
put
stage.
off the trade of the year.
Well, they did that. They came back.
People are chirping the NBA.
For what?
Lakers get everybody? How the fuck? Why would the Mavericks trade that guy?
I don't know.
He's 25 years old.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
That's
I
why,
don't really care
that's
that much.
why
It's all
you don't
good.
see these type of deals in the WNBA very often, which is, why I like just focusing on that league.
You would. Andy loves it. Andy's a guy in the front row with the mask on cheering. Lord.
Shoot a three!
Shoot!
Drive!
God almighty. Chloe's like, I don't want to go.
She wouldn't.
Andy goes by himself. His daughters don't even want to go watch. They're like, can they dunk? Well, no.
Hey, I got you guys some fever gear. You want to wear
Can
it?
they dunk?
They're like, I want to go watch the men.
Even the girls don't care. So, anyway.
Damn, dude. I got to give a shout out real quick to Cooper Flag.
Huh?
Cooper Flag. Dude, I watched a full-on college basketball game the other night in Louisville.
Oh, God.
He plays for
go.
Duke. He's a freshman from Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen him?
No.
Cam, he's amazing.
Okay. What's he do differently?
Everything.
Does he do backflips? What's he doing to get my attention? To get a non-basketball guy's attention, what is he doing?
He's Caucasian.
What's he doing?
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get, and I'm not looking to get canceled or anything.
Because you said Caucasian?
When you say, what's he doing?
No, I'm getting canceled, not you.
No, you are, for what you just said about, because I'll stick
About
up
what?
for
About what?
about your virtue signaling. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link, and only our link, when you get your incredible energy drinks and protein bars and all their incredible apparel.
Vitamins, all that stuff, man.
Protein.
Got these energy drinks right yonder.
supplements.
Right yonder.
Yeah, that's a different. That's a different one.
Yeah.
That's a surprise flavor.
Yeah, it's dang good. Dang good. I ate some dang good food over the weekend, too. Nice barbecue weather here in St. Louis. 70 degrees.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link and load up and send us the receipt, and we're going to throw you in the drawing to receive a nice package.
Little package deal.
A nice package.
A lovely package.
From First Form.
Yep.
They're amazing. My son tells me he sees all these YouTubers that are like all into First Form and shit like that.
Duh.
Yeah.
Dang right. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
See people everywhere with First Form stuff on.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Hat launch.
Yeah, baby.
Hatlaunch.com, baby.
Right here.
Hey,
right here.
every business, every brand, every team, it tells a story, man. There's always a history behind it. Put your brand, put your business on a hat so your employees can walk around and represent.
Damn right. Look
You know
at this
what I'm
bad boy right here.
I know they got
Badass
great
Cam and
quality, all the coolest hats. I've gotten a number of people who I sent over there, and they just rave about the customer service from Danny and everybody.
Strick. Oh, Danny boy.
They rave about the quality. They rave about the quick turnaround.
Yep.
They rave about the fact that I didn't know what logo I wanted, and they created one for me, and a badass logo at that. And they're creative. They do cool shit on social media. They're a fun company.
We did a cool video. You could check
we
that
did.
bad boy out.
Yeah.
Andy might get canceled.
Don't say that. Here we go again.
I'm just saying. I worry. Because he said, protect the women and children. And I said, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Do they need protecting?
No, they
They
don't.
can't handle themselves?
They can.
Good. Just tell the camera that.
Well, they can.
It's right there. Say it.
Some of the strongest people I've ever met are women. Oh, God, I can't. Hey, the strongest people in my life are... Oh, shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go. Go. Don't even edit this, dude. Don't edit it. Let him sit there. The camera's on him. He's laughing at what he said to himself.
Dude,
He's laughing at what he said.
You're laughing.
I didn't do anything.
When you laugh, it makes me laugh.
I went down there to look for a goddamn beef stick.
Yeah, but when you started laughing, that made me laugh.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
Talk about a hat launch.
I just did. Dang right. Check that bad boy out. Check out our commercial, too, by the way.
Yeah, check that out.
They do a damn good job.
There's nothing wrong with saying what I said on the commercial.
You double down and just go.
Oh
You are
God.
in.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Just go. Just go. Just go.
God.
Holy macatoli.
Blue Note Roofing, man. David Novak, he's the absolute best when it comes to roofing, Cam.
Well, now that all the snow's
Are
off
there any better?
No.
Are there any better? I mean, when it comes to gutters, soffit, fascia, gutters, and windows and roofing. And listen, check out the age of your roof because your insurance company. Call your insurance company. Say, hey, how old does my roof need to be to make sure you're going to cover it?
Yeah.
And they may say, well, we won't cover it after 10 years. So if you got your roof 9 years ago, 8 years ago, start thinking about getting David Novak out there. Yeah. Get that roof replaced now while the insurance company is going to replace it for you.
All the snow's gone now. They're going to be back in action doing their thing. So
yes.
Yep. Damn right. Check them out.
Check them out.
Dang right.
314-920-5713. That's David Novak's number. A number of people have reached out asking me for his number. So I hope you guys have contacted David. And now that the weather's starting to clear up because it's warm out today, 314-920-5713, which is why my insurance are all.
I was wondering if there's going to be
my eyes are all my allergies.
Tornadoes, but it's just
okay. Settle down. I mean, it's just this guy. I mean, and the weatherman. Hey, Cam, he's predicting again. Okay, I mean, it's unbelievable, dude. You don't know. We would know if there was bad weather in the forecast. There's none of that right now.
I know. Yeah, that's why. But there are in the South, in the Dixie Alley. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah,
the Dixie Alley,
Mississippi,
Louisiana, Alabama.
That is the Dixie.
Yes. The east coast of
Texas. They don't call it the alley. They
call it
the
Dixie Alley.
Line, baby.
No, they call it Dixie Alley.
The Dixie Line.
It's not Tornado Alley. It's the
Dixie
Alley.
They call it the Dixie Line.
Just so you know. Okay.
The Dixie Line, they call
There'll
it.
be some shit kickers this year.
The Dixie Line is...
I'm predicting that right now.
Okay.
There'll be some shit kickers this year.
Well, let's hope not. Because we had one in my backyard a few years ago.
No, you didn't.
Destroyed my fence.
That was just headwinds, dude.
Oh, dude. My God.
It
was an F1.
It was an F5, just like in fucking Wizard of Oz. Get out of here. It was a goddamn headwind.
They called it an F1.
Didn't do anything. How about you clean up the brush in your fucking backyard a little bit?
I need to.
Yeah, you do. I saw some video. I'm like, God damn, you got fucking trees hanging over this. You better
cut
all that fucking down.
None of that.
Shit, I could fucking blow that fucking thing down.
There's none of that. I don't have any of that.
Yeah, there is.
No, I've got.
Figure it out.
That's
all.
Hector
not working
That's
anymore?
all trimmed up. Jose.
Is he still around?
Jose.
Okay.
Hector's not around.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. If Trump,
I didn't even say it. I didn't say
if you're saying Trump did something to Hector,
I didn't say that.
He better not have, dude.
I didn't say
if he did something to Hector, we're gonna have some.
Oh, you'll get him. And you'll get him.
We're gonna have some problems because I haven't seen him. I haven't seen now that I think about it. I haven't seen him around.
Well, I asked
in a while.
I just asked if he's doing okay.
And I haven't seen Jose either.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, dude.
Me too. I'm asking. That's all.
Illinois Recovery Center.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois, baby. Now, if Illinois Recovery Center could somehow help Andy out with his phone addiction, they would. Don't know if they could do that, but they can help out with alcohol, with painkiller, with fentanyl, with all that crazy stuff. Meth. I met a girl in there that was doing meth. She's like, fuck, can't get off this shit. Mm-hmm. Finally, I feel better. Her eyes are open again and they're not fucking blacked out. She's not taking her toothbrush and cleaning the goddamn toilet seat.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
Why did you say that?
Say what?
Like cleaning the toilet seat.
Do you know what meth does to you?
So what is that?
If you snort meth or smoke it, you'll be up for 48 hours and you'll be so locked in on things like this. Look at the cleanness. And your mouth gets fucked up and you're nasty and your teeth rot out. It's a nasty, nasty drug. So when I did say that, because I talked to this young, poor, beautiful girl. She's beautiful, beautiful. She got caught in meth. She's cleaned her fucking toilet with a goddamn toothbrush for hours and hours on end. God awful. It's god awful. But Illinois Recovery Center helped her. Her. She's beautiful again. Wow. She showed me a picture of her when she was fucking methed out.
Really?
I go,
oh my God. Just what? A transformation.
Oh, fuck. She's a beautiful girl. Just fucking getting her shit done. She was a month in. She's good to go. She gets out. Her family's happy. Illinois Recovery Center. Can it help Andy? Probably not. But it's going to help out so many other people.
Yeah.
You know.
Check them out online. IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Yeah, dude.
If you want to get a hold with Chrissy or
Jacob,
Eric,
what's up?
Jacob, anybody,
give Jacob
reach
a shout
out to us and we'll.
They're doing a little podcast with Chrissy and Jakey Boy. Are doing a little podcast.
We should collab with them.
So look up Chrissy Pondoff on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And Illinois Recovery Center. They're doing a little. I'm gonna get on there. I'm going there in a week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. So I'll let you know so we don't book a time.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I may go fucking do my.
I may go back with you.
No, let me do this.
No, I might go back with you this time.
It doesn't.
And drive you out there.
They don't relate to you.
Okay.
They know that I'm fucked up. They're not like, oh, Andy, and Andy's like, well, my phone. No, they want to know about substance abuse, and I'm right there with them, so I could talk to them.
Yeah,
you'll be on your phone the whole fucking time anyway. Let me go.
Cam at Bellman, you get no
swinging dicks. Told you that a million goddamn times.
But you do get flavored water and sushi, so
it's funny.
It is.
Troy, Missouri.
Not trying to be funny. It's just the truth. No, that's what they give you.
You're trying to
they have the best customer service ever.
Andy the jokester.
Buick GMC on one side of the street. What's on the other side?
Chrysler Dodge
Jeep Ram.
Jeep Ram, baby. What up?
Let's
go.
Cam's looking at that
Denali.
Pink Jeep, 2-door, small wheels, soft top, flames on the side.
Good job.
Nothing wrong with it.
These new trucks are fucking awesome.
The Denalis?
They are.
Oh, so are the Rams.
Sleek, badass looking, dude.
I know, dude.
They are badass looking.
That's what I'm thinking for my next car is a pickup truck.
You know how to, can you get one of them? Mm-hmm. You have to step up. Like,
hey, guys, a little help.
You can't drive a pickup truck.
Sure I can.
No, because the way the pickup truck's too big for you to be swervy over the fucking place anyway.
Banging
fucking in, going into the Blues goddamn parking garage. You'll be banging every fucking car, trying to tweet things out, running and everything. No, keep a small vehicle for yourself. Okay. Maybe get a Buick, a little fucking 4-door Buick.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You could slide in and out of the fucking, parking garage. Dude, but with a truck for you,
I can get a Jeep.
You don't know how to drive a truck.
I've driven those Wagoneers too.
110. They're expensive.
I know, but they're worth it.
They are.
Amazing.
You are floating.
Could you live in a car?
Fuck no.
No.
What kind of question is that?
I'm just wondering, could you live?
Could I? Mm-hmm. If push comes to shove and I had to, you goddamn right. But if I'm living in a vehicle, it's not going to be a Wagoneer.
No.
It's probably going to be a station wagon from the 80s because I'm broke.
Or like a bus.
Or a bus or something, If I had to live somewhere hardcore, I could do it.
How long do you want to live?
I want to live as long as my lovely wife, Kate, is just happy enough to where when I do die, it's not long for her to suffer.
Okay. Oh, my God.
You asked me, I'm going to tell you.
That's a good answer.
You asked me, I'm going to tell you.
Say hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, what up, baby? Let's go.
And Kenny?
Dale? The fuck are you doing, boy? What's up, guys? We love all you, man.
They're the best.
Hell yeah.
Bellman, baby. Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Located where?
Troy, Missouri. Beautiful up there, by the way. Go take a look. Right up Highway 40.
All right, my guy, Eric Tulsky, joins us next on the Cam and Strick Podcast. Enjoy. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. How much are you enjoying this role as general manager? I mean, especially when you're in the thick of things and you're executing these blockbuster deals. I mean, the adrenaline rush has got to be amazing. Is this what you expected it to be? When you started getting into hockey and then all of a sudden GM jobs maybe became a reality, is this kind of how you thought it would be?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I don't know that I ever knew it was going to go like this. But yeah, it's been fun. It's, there's a lot of opportunities here to make the team better and position us to have our best chance of getting where we want to be. And that's a really exciting opportunity for me to help play a role in that.
So how did you get into hockey? Like growing up, were you a big hockey fan? I know you were a baseball fan. Did your mom and dad get you into it? They take you to games?
Yeah, so I was a big sports fan, followed all four big sports. We were mostly a baseball family. That's what my parents were most into. So when I was a kid, we had season tickets to the Phillies. But I was interested in all sports. I followed them all closely. I ended up writing about hockey for pretty random reasons. I stumbled onto a blog that had a good community, and I joined it and was writing and having fun. And then gradually my work caught on, and it turned into consulting gigs, and then a part-time gig, and then a full-time gig.
I know, it's crazy. I love following your story, man. It's so unique. It's so different in hockey.
Yep.
But you could have done analytics for baseball. You could have done analytics for football. You see how analytics are coming into that sport as well. So what was it about hockey? Like, did you follow the game? Like, do you feel like you had a firm understanding of the game?
Yeah, so I would say I got into hockey first, partly just because I happened to be in a community of people who were interested in hockey stats, and there was stuff for me to do.
Yeah.
I would also say the timing was right, where, in 2010 or whenever it was that I started, baseball was already far enough along that the entry point was really tough. It was hard to come in and say, hey, here's something new that nobody's looked at that I'm interested in doing, because they'd already done everything. Mm-hmm. And in hockey, there was still a lot of low-hanging fruit and a lot of things where a question would come up and I'd be like, hey, nobody's really looked at that. Let me take a look. And so it was sort of naturally a place where I could get in and start making contributions.
Eric, and baseball is boring. Let's be honest with you. You don't want to watch baseball, though.
He is right on that.
Baseball family, I get it. We all love to go to the...
It's not the same.
Hockey's a little more exciting, a little more fun, though, right?
It is for sure, although I will say the pitch clock has done wonders for baseball.
That's true. 2 hours and 40 minutes now, it's pretty quick.
Hey, but you're a scientist.
Yeah.
Like, you obviously are very smart. Like, what'd your parents do when you were growing up? What was their career?
So my dad's a reporter, my mom's a lawyer.
Okay. What kind of reporter? Like a newspaper, like a writer?
Yeah, so he was an investigative reporter, worked at newspapers, is working on a book now.
Wow.
When you were a kid, were you doing like science projects? Like when the class said, you got to do a science project, would you come in with this unbelievable ordeal and show off to everybody?
No, I would not. I was probably looking to sort of get by with something that was good enough to get me the grade I wanted, but spend my free time on sports or whatever else was fun for me.
Yeah, but you obviously got good grades. I mean, you went to Berkeley, you went to Harvard.
Yeah.
I mean, so education was obviously important. When people ask you what you do, like, you're always a scientist. It's kind of like when you go to law school, you may not be working for a law firm or maybe practicing law, but you're always a lawyer once you have that law degree. So you're always a scientist. Like, do you use anything you learned from an educational standpoint at Harvard and at Berkeley? How do you apply that in terms of what you're doing as a general manager in the National Hockey League? I
would say almost nothing from my education comes into play, but a lot from my industry experience does. I was in roles there where I was responsible for managing people, for leading groups, for having a vision about how we should do things, for planning out how we might execute what we wanted to do, for dealing with uncertainty and having backup plans, and sort of thinking through all of that kind of stuff was very important training for the role I'm in. Because ultimately, this is a management position. It is a leadership position. Like, there's hockey elements to it, of course, but it's an organizational leadership position. And the experience that I have leading groups in industry translated very well.
Is this the most difficult job you ever had?
Probably. Certainly it's the one where there's the most eyes on my performance and attention to how I did.
I was reading you have a bunch of patents. Give us an idea of things that you've patented, and how many patents do you have?
Yeah, so I have 27 U.S. patents and then a bunch of international spinoffs. Most of them are for my work in biotech, where I was making fluorescent nanoparticles that could be used for things like DNA sequencing or clinical imaging applications. And there are patents on a bunch of different ways of making the particles that are useful for those things.
Do you get paid for those? Like the stuff that you patent? Are you getting checks from all these different people right now?
No. So part of the deal when you sign up to work for a company, they pay you a salary, and part of what they get is the rights to anything you invent. So my name is there as an inventor on the patent, but I don't collect anything from, when they sell products that make use of my patents, I don't get anything.
Okay, Eric, that's not. We're not going to let that fly.
We got it. Well, I'm writing an email.
You need to be getting paid for these patents because they wouldn't be possible without them. So you need an enforcer or something like that. We can maybe take care of that.
Just letting you know.
I'll give you some names. You can go get in touch with people. We'll see how you do. You know what? I'll give you 30% of whatever you collect.
Oh, I like. Okay.
Okay, now we're
Don't do that to me, Eric.
Hey, listen, he's a go-getter.
Don't you do that to me now.
So, like, are your mom and dad, are they into this kind of stuff? Do you have brothers and sisters? Or are you just different and unique from the rest of the family?
Yeah, so I mean, they're big fans, of course. I have one sister. She's also a big fan. It's become the family thing now. I would say none of them are as scientifically inclined as I am. That was my own little spin-off, but we are a serious family. I'll say that.
Okay, so how do you have the confidence to go toe-to-toe with these other general managers? And have you ever felt like other GMs have tried to bully you into doing something you didn't want to do, and you just kind of caught on to it right away and said, hey, this isn't going to fly. I'm smarter than you think I am in terms of, the hockey side of it, and you're confident. And in terms of dealing with people who have been around the game their entire life, how confident are you in those scenarios?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's ultimately, it's not like a face-off where we're fighting for a puck and one person's going to get it and one's going to lose. It's a negotiation, and if we don't get what we want out of it, we'll walk away. And if they don't get what they want out of it, then they'll walk away. And so the question is just, is there a middle ground where we both get what we want? In a face-off, you can't both get the puck, but in a negotiation, you can both get a deal that you're happy with. And if you don't, there won't be a deal, and you'll move on and find something else. And ultimately, that's the comfort level, is having alternative plans so that you never feel like you have to do this or you're stuck is the only way you can get into those situations and come out happy with the outcome.
Any specific rules that you wanted to implement when you came in? I mean, like little things, or you just you know what, guys, do what you got to do. Is it suit and tie? I mean, is there anything that's unique that you brought to the table?
You have to be clean shaven.
Clean shaven. Like I played for Lou Lamoriello, so I'm kind of going based off that. Jersey tucked in. The socks have to be right. Like, are you just hey, just go play for me?
No, none of that. I'm pretty liberal on when it comes to sort of how people want to carry themselves and how they want to manage their lives. Ultimately, my goal as an organizational leader is to put everyone in the organization in position to be the best they can and to do the best they can. And so that means I need to supply them with whatever tools they need, whatever resources we can make available. It's my job to do that. Providing them with rules about how they're going to dress on a game day probably doesn't really help them do better at their job. And so I try to stay away from, creating unnecessary overhead.
And then you're right about that. Do you consider yourself a hockey expert? And I'm curious, who's been your biggest mentor? Like you obviously have probably a firmer understanding of the game today than you did when you were writing blogs back in 2010. So who do you credit for really helping teach you the game to where you have the level of understanding that you have now? And where would you say your level of understanding with the game of hockey is? Like, do you consider yourself a hockey expert? Like, break that down for us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I couldn't do this job if I didn't know the game.
Yeah.
I'm never going to have the eye for it that Rod has, right? I just won't. But of course, I know a lot more now than I did 15 years ago. And, I'm learning more day by day. Mm-hmm. There have been a lot of people who have helped me along the way. I don't want to start naming names because I'm immediately going to regret having missed people.
It's all good. They all know.
But from the day I came in, I was sharing an office with somebody who was helping me. I was working for somebody who was helping me. there have been a lot of people who from the outset have been there to bounce ideas off, to show me things, to walk through video with me. And, like I wouldn't be where I am without all that support.
Mm-hmm.
Are you around the guys a lot? Are you social with them? Do you stay back a little bit?
Yeah, so I try to be available at all times. I try to give them some space. Management is different from coaching, right? I'm not part of the locker room in the way that a coach is, and I don't pretend to be. But I want to be around enough that I'm available so that anytime something comes up where somebody needs help with something, can see a way we can get better, whatever it is, there's very little barrier to bringing stuff to me and talking about it. And so that's sort of the line I try to walk, that I'm available and approachable, but not sort of overbearing as a presence.
Yeah. No, sorry about that. I love the fact that Tom Dundon thinks outside the box.
Yep. He
does things his way, and he's been very successful in business. It's got to be interesting to work for a guy like Tom. We've had him on here, and I find him very interesting, because I don't think you had to have played 1,200 games to be a general manager in the NHL. I mean, I cover Doug Armstrong on a daily basis. I've known him for a long time. He's one of the most successful GMs in the game today. You look at Ken Hitchcock, who coached here for a long time, didn't play in the NHL. So I love the outside the box thinking. What's it like working for Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. He's somebody who will challenge your thought process and make sure that you have good reasoning behind what you do. And that's a really valuable resource to have. Especially this business can be very hierarchical sometimes. And especially when you get to a position like mine, a lot of times people will tell you what they think, but be a little bit hesitant to push back. I've tried to build a staff that has no problem pushing back, but I also have an owner who's happy to tell me, like, hey, you need to convince me of this. And fortunately, we have a pretty good rapport. I feel like I'm pretty good at convincing him of what I want to do. And, I can't remember the last time the pushback, was more than just, let me make sure it all makes sense. That's pretty rare, but, having somebody who will make you talk through your logic out loud and make sure it makes sense. And, it's an extra way to help you get to ideas and help you make sure you're making good decisions.
Okay, you're so educated, though. I mean, you could be doing pretty much anything you want to do. I mean, you have a couple of degrees, obviously, from major institutions, including Harvard. So obviously the options they wouldn't be limited. You'd have a lot of options. When did you decide that I want to be a general manager? Like, were you always driven to become a GM? When was that on your radar? Hey, I'm going to go for this and I'm going to make this happen.
No, I mean, I would say my journey has been very hard to predict. And I didn't expect to be a full-time hockey employee until after I had gotten an offer. Like, it hadn't even really occurred to me. Wow. And I started off thinking I'm going to do my job well and not really thinking about where it was headed, right? It's not my nature to sort of angle for the next thing. I was always just trying to do my job well and figured it would work out from there. It was really not until I started getting asked to interview for positions for GM that it became clear to me that was actually a possibility. And honestly, I was surprised the first time I got that call. It's not something I've been thinking about and angling for all along. But that's where I ended up.
Yeah, I think you interviewed with Pittsburgh, one other team. I'm trying to remember who the other team was. Hey, what are all your buddies who you went to school with?
Yeah.
What are they thinking?
Yeah.
They're like, what? Yeah. Like,
they're saving the world right
Eric,
now.
we had no idea that you had this in you. Like, I mean, they're hanging out with you, having coffee. They're in the square. You guys are doing your thing in college. And all of a sudden, you're saying, wait, years from now, you're going to be doing this. I mean, you're patenting all these but you're an NHL general manager. They got to be like, what is going on here? Unless maybe they saw this in your future. Who knows? Yeah,
no, it's been a little bit weird. I definitely occasionally get a message from somebody who's just like, wait, what are you doing now? Is this, is this the Eric Tulsky that I knew? And it's like, yes, it is.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So this Rantanen deal, I mean, it got a lot of people's attention. Yeah. When do you start looking at a player of his caliber? Like, were you thinking, hey, we need to add a superstar, we need to create a major splash, and you're looking at a potential fit? He obviously has an expiring contract, so hey, there's always the potential of a team like Colorado moving on from a player like him. When does that kind of cross your desk, a player like a Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we have a continuous search for ways the team could get better, and 99 out of 100 ideas go nowhere. And that's fine, right? It's a lot of work that goes into trying to find opportunities. And, sort of the point of it is the 1 out of 100 can be a big enough win to make up for all the time you spent on the other 99. So that's, it's basically how we view it is we have a continuous search going on. How can we get better? What else is out there? What are we looking for, and how can we fill those holes?
So what was your conversation like with Tom when it came to Mikko Rantanen? Was he just like, sure, go ahead, or did you guys really have to discuss it at all?
Yeah, no, of course we had a lot of discussion. I mean, this is a huge trade, and we were giving up some really valuable pieces, and we're taking on some real risk in how this will play out. And, we know the pieces that we gave up are very valuable, and, we expect the players who went to Colorado to go do really well there. And, thinking through whether it was worth it, what our team will look like, what our cap will look like, all of that is part of the presentation to him on how we want to think about it. And there needs to be a really sound logic beyond just, holy cow, look, it's Mikko Rantanen, right? Like that can be a starting point, but that can't be an explanation, that's not the whole rationale, right? It can't be.
I can't believe you trade a Harvard guy in Jack Drury. I mean, you just, the Harvard fans are
they're not happy.
No, I mean, hey, yeah. He's a good young player. Yeah. You got to include good pieces, obviously, to pull off a trade like this. I'm joking, but whose idea was it to bring Chicago into the mix, get a third team into the mix? Financially, obviously, you had to, make some things work to get this to happen. So who's responsible for bringing Chicago into the mix?
Yeah, I mean, that was a conversation that we had all throughout this, was how we were going to make the cap work. And we've been pressing very hard all year to try to maximize our cap flexibility in case something came along. We wanted to make sure we were not in a position where we were a few $100,000 short of being able to do something that would really help the team. This was a case where we knew we could make this work, but it would be a lot easier if we could find a team to retain money. And we looked at different ways of doing that. And Chicago, having a player who they wanted to trade who was making about the same amount of money in terms of actual salary cash, made it so that we could get this to work in a way that it might not have otherwise been as easy.
Is it a full-on adrenaline rush? Like when you completed the deal, what's your reaction? If I had a hidden camera on you at the time when this deal was made official, are you celebrating? Are you like, I mean, I'm sure so much work went into it. What was the reaction, and what does it feel like to pull something off like this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're happy to have it done. There was a lot of effort that went into it. And so feeling like that all amounted to something, got us to a place that we were happy to be, was really good. I also, it's for sure at that moment, there was definitely a little bit of bittersweet feeling because I knew the players we were sending out are really good players and really good people. And that's hard. And so, it's hard to really celebrate that you have players you really like going out the door. But ultimately, we had every confidence that this was going to be the right thing for the organization. And so, we had to pull the trigger and be happy to get that done.
You should be happy.
You mentioned the risk. And listen, last year you guys made the deal with Gensel. You weren't able to keep him. He moves on to Tampa Bay. When you do a deal like this, do you just put the risk aside and you'll worry about that later, and it's all about the now, and we're trying to put together the best roster now to compete for a Stanley Cup this season?
No, so I would say we're always trying to factor everything in, right? So if he had come in, signed with an extension at a number that we thought was a good deal for us, we would have been willing to pay more. If we knew it was a pure rental where there was no chance of signing him, we probably wouldn't have paid quite as much. So part of what happens now is we try and work out a deal and figure out where we go from here. We've got some time to work through that to help him sort of get used to our team, feel comfortable here. But that's the number one thing now is try and get to a deal that both sides can be happy with so that we can keep him here long term and figure out what we're going to do next if it doesn't go that way.
Do you talk to his agent beforehand to get an idea of what it's going to take to sign him?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to him along the way. It's obviously until the trade is done, it's a different sort of like, he's their player. We can't really talk to the agent about a contract until then. So the serious conversations didn't happen until after the trade got executed. We did get permission from Colorado to make sure, it was not a non-starter, but we didn't get into serious conversations about what a contract would look like until after a trade was done.
We're both big fans of Carolina in general. I love what you did, first off. And the fact that you guys have been very competitive. Raleigh is an underrated city in the NHL. So when do you start to pounce on trying to get something done? And what's the selling point to not just Mikko, but any player that comes through Carolina who maybe not, if overly familiar with, the city or the market? I mean, do you utilize other players? Is it like, hey, you bring in Sebastian Aho? Hey, listen, we know him. You've got a friendship with him. You got to really sell this home and help us get this done. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll use everything we can to try and help him get to a deal. Ultimately, I think he knows we have a really good team. I think he probably already had heard what a great player or what a great coach Rod is to play for, and he will quickly feel that himself as he spends time with him. I think he had probably already heard what a great locker room we have, and he'll quickly feel that himself as he spends time in it. I think he had probably already heard what a passionate fan base we have, and I can't wait until he plays his first home game and feels the support from them. So some of that is just sort of natural over time. And then, yeah, of course, like he has a friend on the team that's going to help a little bit. Ultimately, he's going to have to get to know us a little bit and make sure he's comfortable with it.
I think Anaheim got a lot of attention for the negotiation they did with Vetrano, some deferred money. But didn't you do the same thing with Seth Jarvis? Like, how did you structure that type of deal? And do you see more and more deals being done like that moving forward where you're deferring money so maybe it doesn't kill you as much up front, but the player maybe benefits down the road?
Yeah, so I think that's always, sort of something that's worth having a conversation about. Anaheim's deal with Vetrano was a little bit different. They deferred money for a really long time with the goal of hoping that he can collect after he leaves California and can get lower taxes. Mm-hmm. With our deal, it was more just about structuring it to sort of optimize the return for him. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, we will explore possibilities. We'll see what they're open to and what their interests are. Ultimately, there are trade-offs to be made, right? And getting money sooner is more valuable, but if you get more money later, maybe that works better for you. And it's just a question of what the player wants, what his lifestyle needs, and how we can make the cap hit work for the team and the finances work for the player so that everybody comes out with something they want.
Did Roslovic come to you and say, hey, listen, I'm going to give him my number. Eric, don't worry. He can have 96. Or did you say to him, hey, listen, I think we should give Mikko 96. We're trying to keep him here,
Yeah, so the equipment managers had those conversations. I wasn't part of that, which is, probably better for me. I'm glad to stay out of that one.
What do you expect out of Taylor Hall? And when he's on his game, he's a great hockey player. He's been banged up and kind of a little bit of an off season in Chicago. But what do you expect out of him?
Yeah, so he's a really good player. He brings both speed and size that can be really effective the way we play. We have a very forecheck-oriented offense, and he can get in. He can win battles along the wall. He can hold on to pucks there and protect them. And then he adds on top of that a vision to make the cross-ice pass or the play to the net front that really turns those puck recoveries into scoring chances. And I think that can be really effective for our team. So we'll see how it plays out. But in his first game, it looked exactly the way we hoped it would. And if that keeps up, I think he's going to make a really big impact for us.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I agree.
Hey, what's your relationship like with Rod? And he's got such a long relationship with the organization and the community. It's a little bit different than probably most coaches in the NHL, considering he was an iconic player there in that market. But when you're doing a deal like this for Rantanen, are you talking to him every day about where things are at with that? Or are you just kind of leaving him alone and letting him focus on the team? Like, when does he find out the deal is done? And what was his reaction to you when you told him, hey, Mikko Rantanen's coming to Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, so Rod's an incredible coach, and he is a fixture, and it's really an honor to get to work with him, frankly.
Yeah.
Of course, he's involved and has a voice. Like, my job is to find players who I think can play the way he wants them to play and who can fill the roles that he says he needs a player to fill. And so, of course, we're talking about what that might look like and what we could get and what it would cost. It's not every day because he has a job to do and he can't be distracted with also trying to do another job on a daily basis. But there are enough check-ins that he knows kind of what we're looking at and kind of what's coming. And, as we get close to closing it, we're having those conversations.
Does he ever ask you to work out with him ever?
Not very often, no. It's I've been on a bike next to him, and I
don't even look at him.
Pretend like I'm keeping up, but he knows I'm not.
Oh,
hey, did you ever play hockey? Like, do you ever want to go put skates on after practice and go wheel around and just be like, "Hey, Sebastian," and like it's Slavin,
check this out.
Watch it, go 1-on-1 on Slavin and start taking 1-tees after practice? Like, you ever try to go on the ice and do that, or no?
Yeah, they've seen me on ice at family skates and stuff. I don't think anyone was blown away and thinking, here's the extra defenseman we've always needed. Like, nobody came to that conclusion.
7th D-man.
Yeah. I would love it. You should make yourself a player general manager, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a good way to lose both of those careers at once.
Eric, you'd be the most popular player in the league right now. Your jersey sales would just be
off
popular, the rack, man. I mean, because I do love your story, and I know you got to get going. Do you have a few more minutes, real quick? I'm just curious. It was reported, obviously, that you were talking to Vancouver as well. Did you have options? Could you have done a deal with them if you wanted to, and you chose this deal instead? Like, was it that far along where you could have done a couple of different deals?
Yeah, so I don't want to talk about anybody else because they've,
Sure.
Other teams have their own things going on. But yes, we were looking at multiple things with other teams. It was not just Colorado. It's part of the job, right? Colorado had multiple teams they were looking at to deal with for Rantanen. Chicago had multiple teams they were looking at a deal with for Hall. Everybody had multiple options on the table, and this was the one that ended up making sense for everyone.
What do you think about your team now moving forward? And is all the heavy lifting done? Like, did you get way out in front of the trade deadline, or do you expect to maybe even look to improve the roster even more if something presents itself?
Yeah, we're never going to be done. It's just not how we think about things. So we have sort of addressed some of the things that we wanted to address. There are always other ways you can get better. There are always steps you can keep taking. And so we've got 6 more weeks to keep looking at what's out there and thinking about how we can keep taking steps forward. The goal is to give us the best chance to win the cup we can this year and beyond. And that means looking at everything that's out there, not just saying, okay, that's good enough, let's take a break.
What do you think of the 4 Nations coming up? Are you in favor of that? Are you worried like guys are going to go there and you just hope they come back healthy? I would imagine that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an incredible event. It's going to be really fun for the fans. I personally, my strongest rooting interest is for the Hurricanes, not for any of the teams at the 4 Nations. But it's a great event, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Do you ever bring Brent Burns up to your office and be like, I want to know what's in your backpack? Like, what do you bring in? What are you bringing into the ring? Can we into the rink every day? Can we go to the zoo
farm
that you have? I mean, do you ever just? I would imagine you guys could have some very interesting conversations.
I have not gone there yet. Now that you say it, like maybe I'll get the security guys to show me when they x-ray the bag when he comes in, like what the x-ray shows. Like that could be a way around this here.
Hey, but you have some good people. We've had Jacob Slavin on here before. Great guy.
Great guy.
Very, very good player. I mean, so your team, like how does Rantanen? We all know he's a great player, but give us your real like analytic view on it in terms of what ways you just got really incrementally, better by having him there,
Yeah, I mean, he's an incredible player, and his ability to win pucks along the walls and make plays at the net front, and it just fits the way we play, right? It's when he gets the puck below the dots, he's really hard to get it off of, and he's really good at either getting it off his stick or finding a teammate. And that kind of playmaking from the dots down is a really important piece of how we build our offense. And so I think he's going to be a great fit and help us really, sort of improve our offensive attack and continue playing to our identity, which is essential. If we want to keep building around the way Rod wants to play, we need players like him who can keep helping us succeed with that style.
I've seen it before, like when the Blues added like Jay Bouwmeester right before the deadline, or even when they added Ryan Miller and Steve Ott several years ago. He maybe didn't work out the way they had hoped, in terms of playoff success. But he was the big fish at the time. Everyone knew they needed a goaltender, and they were able to get that done. Doug Armstrong was. Do you get a sense of how appreciative the players are when you make a deal like this? I mean, you're sending a message, obviously, that you're trying to win, which they have to really appreciate from a GM point of view,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, right? Like everybody wants to win, and feeling like you got better is good. Again, like it's hard. Most of the deals you're talking about are futures for players, and that's easy to celebrate. I think it is a little harder to celebrate when you're moving out players from your current roster who everybody likes and values. But I think everybody knows the players we brought in can really help us, and it's hard not to be excited about that.
Yeah, and it may take a little bit of time. And Rantanen, obviously, being in one place for a long time, has relationships with a community and a team. They won Stanley Cups there. So it's probably a little bit of a shock when you initially move on to a new team, but he's going to be a good player for you. Hey, real quick, what are you doing on an off night? Are you watching hockey games? I mean, across the board, sitting around watching hockey? Do you still have other interests? Do you keep your brain sharp with your scientists?
Yeah, he's still a scientist too?
I mean, and reading about, different, literature from that standpoint, or have you put all of that aside and it's only hockey right now for Eric Tulsky?
Yeah, there is no time for anything but hockey. This job keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah, you traveling a lot? I mean, are you the guy that goes overseas? Like, will you go to Russia? Like, where's the furthest place you've been so far?
No, so I've been traveling with the team this year on most of the road trips, but other than that, I haven't made any trips just for travel's sake.
Yeah. Okay.
Scouting and all that, yeah.
I love it, man.
Hey, you're doing a great job. We appreciate you coming on.
Who was your hockey hero growing up? I'm curious.
Oh, I don't know. It's tough because, I grew up in Philly, and if I don't say Rod, like that would be tough, right? So Rod was a great player on those teams, but
Lindros, I'm sure. You guys had some awesome teams.
You need to patent like a new stick or a new pair of skates.
Yes.
Where like all of a sudden guys are just going like 90 miles an hour on the ice. They're
they don't break their
pucks 150 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let's patent something now. Just like that makes takes hockey to the next level, Eric.
I'll work on that.
But you are getting it done, man. Honestly, we got a ton of respect for you.
Thank you for coming on.
For what you're doing. I know it's a busy time, but congratulations. I wish you all the best the rest of the season too. And we're rooting for the Hurricanes. So thanks a lot for doing this.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Seriously.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Okay.
All right, right on.
We'll be in touch, man. Take care.
See you, bud. Thank you.
Bye.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Eric Tulsky on
the heck's going on around here?
This edition of the Chemistry Podcast. Great conversation.
Yeah, he was cool.
He's done a hell of a job, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Between now,
why are you laughing so much?
No,
what's on your mind?
No, between now, I don't know where
we talked
I don't
about.
know where you're going. Do you have me very uneasy?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
We talked about Jamal Maris and saying, "Hey, you got to sign this cat, or else this is going to be a disaster."
Right.
If this is a fucking rental,
you
and you got rid of god dang Natchez.
You took a
That's what I'm saying.
major risk here. You move on from Marty Natchez. He's got another year left on his deal.
Player. Damn good.
And you bring in another rental back-to-back years, and you don't sign him. There's level of risk,
Insult.
and you don't win the cup. You don't get to the Stanley Cup final.
They got to make the fucking next step.
They got to get
this
to
year.
the final.
You got to make the next step this
You
year.
don't make this. You don't keep going to having winning some playoff series, getting to the conference final,
Who's it remind you of?
and then making this type of deal in back-to-back years and not get to the final.
Who does a Carolina, besides their cup
Mhm.
in 05, say that didn't happen?
Uh-huh.
Who does the Carolina Hurricanes remind you of?
Um,
What team in the 90s and early
boy,
2000s?
You're gonna say St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but the problem with St. Louis was they were just never better than
Then-
Detroit and
Well,
Colorado.
what's the problem with Carolina?
And you know why they weren't better? Because their goaltender was never better. And Carolina has goaltending question marks. And you don't win in the Stanley Cup playoffs without goaltending.
So did I make a nice analogy there?
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought it was pretty dang good.
Carolina,
Because we went through this.
they're
Andy
not
and
as
I.
good as Florida.
In Tampa.
You know,
got them.
Paul Maurice, man.
Rangers got him.
He treats these guys so professionally. I hear he gives them days off when they earn it, right? When they're up in a game and it's third period, whatever, he stops putting Barkov and some of these guys out on the PK and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you take a
Why
shot?
would you just add extra mileage to these
They're
guys
too
when
good.
you need them?
They got so much depth. They could throw other cats out there and save Barkov's ankle so somebody doesn't rock him. Cooch got chirped by a bunch of cats that we like up in Calgary.
Who did?
Coochie the other day, somebody was on a breakaway empty net. and
Kucherov?
Kucherov fucking slashed him and hit him right into the boards. Like, it was
Oh,
a dirty play,
shit.
man. He's getting chirped pretty good about that. Coochie. You see that play?
I missed that one. Let me see it.
Andy misses a lot of things. Hey, Maddie, you
Well,
want to come in here and help me?
You know,
Maddie knows what's going
no,
on.
I saw a lot of things, but that particular, and I probably did see it, and I'll look at it.
You
and-
saw it.
Yeah. I mean,
He just whacked him. They fell right into the goal
Yeah.
and almost killed himself,
Yeah. Okay.
Just a dirty play. I like Coochie, man. Sometimes you got to be dirty a little
And
bit.
what the league have to say about it?
Nothing.
So, I wouldn't.
Nothing.
You're probably embellishing,
I don't know. People were chirping Cooch, but I'm like, damn. And I watched it again and again. And I'm like, damn. I listen to their perspective. The Calgary podcast, I've been on there with the boys. They're cool as shit. But they were chirping Coochie pretty good. I'm like, yeah, that was dirty.
Oh, it was on Michael Rasmussen,
Yeah,
I believe.
What do you think, Andy? Like, if somebody did that, I always have to throw Ty in the mix.
Mhm.
Andy's cool son, cute son is
Well,
dominating.
it was an empty netter. You have to include that part of the story.
I did.
Did you?
That makes
Because
it worse.
Makes it worse.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because, he didn't even need to carry it that far. He
Nah.
could have just shot it in.
It's a guaranteed goal.
It's a guaranteed
Yeah.
goal.
So you'd be pissed
in
if
that
that happened to
particular
Ty.
situation, you are thinking regardless, he's going to score, so I'm just going to take him out knowing he's going to score because I'm pissed that we just gave up an empty netter and the
There's
game is
there-
essentially over.
I do feel like there's a lot of big hits, man, in the NHL as of late.
Mhm.
Monster hits. Guys are getting fucking rocked still. People chirp the NHL about being soft and this, and I get okay. It's never the same every decade, man. We get all that.
Mhm.
Guys are still fucking killing
Oh,
each
yeah.
other, Andy. They're killing each other.
Like
And I hate when people come on and say hitting and fighting aren't that big of a deal anymore. Well, maybe not fighting, but hitting.
Josh
certain-
Manson had that big hit on
Jesus,
Holloway.
Murphy stuck him solid. One of those that goes
Boom.
stuck him. Big boy,
Yeah.
sit down. And Holloway, man, I don't see him get hit that much. He spins off of guys a
Yeah.
lot. He's a young player that plays for the Blues now. We got him from Edmonton. Everybody knows that. Whatever. But Manson stuck him.
Mhm.
And then Braden Shen went over to try to fight Manson and got an extra penalty. I'm like, God. And I think they scored.
They scored on the
play.
power
Jesus
play.
Christ. Colorado
You
killed
don't
the
think
Blues.
he
the
should
other
have
night.
gotten a penalty there, or you do?
No, don't give
Yeah.
him a penalty there.
No.
He just got into his face. And
I
Manson
said it at the time watching that. Why is
know.
he getting a penalty? He shouldn't be getting a penalty. Nothing happened. But
Nothing happened.
do you think in
Yeah.
that particular situation,
Yeah.
because you're not saying what you really want to say because you're being soft here. on
Oh,
the
yeah,
pod-
what is that?
What you told me
See
on the
it, you
phone.
wanna-
What you told me on the phone. You
That's a
felt like,
stupid play.
You felt like he should have fought him.
Shinner did?
Yeah,
Yeah, he should have,
you feel like
Yeah.
he should.
for sure.
If you're gonna go grab him,
If you're going to get a penalty, you might as well do damage and punch him in the face.
I don't think he was expecting to get a penalty there.
Well, they got one.
Yeah.
And they scored. So if you're ever going to
shocked that he got,
this is what happens in a new NHL. If there's a big hit and you go confront the player that made the hit, and you grab him, you're gonna, even if you don't punch him, you're going to get a penalty.
Right.
You're going to get a penalty. So you might as well do something.
The game.
You stop the game, and they got to stop because you beeline it right towards Manson or whatever. You got to do something. Now, Braden Shin does enough of that. We don't want him to fight that much anymore. No. That's all he does is stick up for teammates. He knocked out JT Miller the other night. JT Miller is so cool. They're up by 2. They're shit kicking the Blues. And all of a sudden, Shinner's like, you got to give me one. And JT, right off the bat's like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah. Gets one punch, basically, pops back up, scores another goal, and dominates the game. He did not have to fight Shinner, and he did anyway.
And JT Miller, I mean, he played so well here in St. Louis. That kind of like was his coming out party once again. You know, that game, and then he's carried it over, obviously, to New York now. But
the Shinner point is like, I don't want him fighting all the time. Now, Tyler Tucker just got hurt the other night.
That's not the point.
I'm sorry.
The point is, in that specific situation, what did you want him to do?
Either I'll explain it.
I mean, you're just coming in. You know, you're getting soft here.
You need to worry about yourself.
Okay, so just answer
you
the
need
question.
To worry about yourself.
You don't try to change your answer.
Shinner, either you fight him or you don't. Because if you don't and you half-ass it like that, or you go in between, you get a penalty and they score on a power play, and that's a big game against the Vancouver Canucks.
You don't get the instigator if you go and fight him there.
No, well, you will. You'll still get a penalty. You'll still get an extra 2, but you already got an extra 2 for confronting him, so you might as well do something.
Yeah.
So it's all good. That's petty. It's not a big deal.
And Braden Shen can certainly
he's great, dude.
Defend himself and whatever.
He's playing good hockey.
You don't need him fighting.
I don't want him fighting all the time. That's why Tyler Tucker.
Josh Manson now.
Tyler Tucker's a young kid on the Blues, man, defenseman that didn't really do much the past couple of years. Now he's got a chance this year, and he's actually playing good hockey.
He's making plays at the blue line, too.
He's shooting a puck.
He's really improved whatever he's done skill-wise and skating the last.
Whoa, who's he skating with? We got to find that out.
Who's his skating coach?
Now, he ran into the boards the other night, and his shoulder looked like it popped right out, so I don't know what
happened. His reaction to it certainly looked like...
when you skate to the bench and your shoulder's like this, it's not a good thing. So, but I like that. Like, Tyler, let him take care of that kind of stuff. Now, he wasn't on the ice, but he could still do it later on. Manson will fight him. So sometimes you just go over and be like, man, we'll get you back. That was a clean hit. Sometimes when these clean hits happen, you take the number down and you figure it out later. But if you go up there and just be like, hey, and you get a penalty, it's just like, now they're going to score on it. Anyway, it's a double whammy.
Shen's my guy.
I love him.
It's just...
Did we have him on?
Not yet.
Okay, maybe the Four Nations.
Dude, these guys will be in like Mexico.
Yeah, but not the whole time.
Mexico, Bahamas.
I know.
Cam thinks they're just like hanging out here.
No, I didn't play. I didn't know what to do.
Did you play?
Olympic breaks and stuff.
Did you play?
Yeah, 10 years.
Okay.
But
just making sure.
And during a couple Olympic breaks where I got to go home. It was nice. Really nice. Good Lord Almighty.
I guess suspended right before one of them.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. 5 games. Good Lord.
Yeah, well.
Gave a speech to all the St. Louis.
It was a dirty hit.
St. Louis County police officers did a damn good job.
It was a dirty hit.
Yes, it was. Matt Bradley. He chirped me you look this hit up. He chirped me in the corner, and he kept chirping me all game and against Washington. And I back checked one time, and he's come around in that, and I hit him so fucking hard. And it was late, and it was dirty, and it just was not a good hit. And then this young, poor soul that they just called up, that never, I don't think, played again, tries to fight me, and I pump him. Oh, God. Then I get kicked out of the game. Then I go upstairs, and Jason Chimera and John Erskine were up there. And Chimera comes over and tries to fight me upstairs.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Erskine's like, I get the game. Like, Big Johnny, I fought him a bunch.
Yeah.
But fucking Jason Chimera
he wanted to
kill me.
We may have to get him
then
on.
I go,
let's
get him on.
Is he coaching stuff?
Get him on.
He was in Vancouver,
it's great.
I think, or something.
We never heard from
face-off
We never heard from Wayne. There's a lot of weird stuff like that. Like, he tried to fight me upstairs in St. Louis.
Who did? Oh, Chimera did, yeah.
I'm like, God damn.
He would have dusted you, probably.
No, he wouldn't have.
No, well,
it's all good. I respect him, and he played more games than me.
Okay,
he's a better hockey player.
Yeah.
But he's not beating me up.
Okay, fine.
Come on, Andy. What's wrong with you?
Hey, Eric, you were fantastic with us, and I hope people enjoyed that conversation, man, because he was. And I wish Carolina...
Who said he wasn't?
Nobody has so far. I'm eager to get the reaction to this one from our great listeners from throughout North America.
Yep.
Canada and the U.S., man. Hey, listen, on this show, we're all together.
God, yeah. We love all you guys.
That's what I'm saying. So, any y'all... If you're booing America, if you're upset,
I don't care about
it's
that.
okay.
It's okay.
We don't want you to do that, but at the same time,
We get the game, man. It's a dog eat dog world right now.
Don't bring that here.
It's all going to be okay.
Because we're leaving the politics out of it on this show.
No, we still bring politics.
I'm just saying.
It's just because we're real. That's all.
Okay.
And we do business up in Canada, a lot of business.
I'm saying we're not going to allow it to affect our relationships with the shit kickers up there. Okay.
They know what's up.
They know what's up.
They know what's up.
You know who else knows what's up? First Form. Firstform.com/Cam&Strick. Use our link and only our link and send us that damn receipt. And you buy those beef sticks.
And energy drinks.
And energy drinks and protein bars.
Kate's been making me these
collagen.
smoothies, man.
Ooh, the collagen will make your hair grow.
Oh, God, I might snort that shit.
Yeah, okay. Well,
you know,
that's not the objective, dude.
I'm just saying.
There's kids
my hair does not look good right now.
I'm always like,
oh, God, I got to do the Jumbotron.
I met all these soccer parents that I didn't know.
Yeah.
A lot of them I knew, but I hadn't been on a couple trips, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What's your podcast called? I'm always like,
I know. I don't even want to tell them.
I was like, I don't remember.
I don't want to tell them because
the soccer mom is like, oh, I'll go back and I'll listen to it. You got a 5-hour drive coming up, and they're just gonna, hey, let's put in Chloe's dad's podcast.
Oh God Almighty!
Oh, God.
I know. I get nervous. Like, you sure? I got this rated R. That's what I tell people.
That's what you
it's
tell
rated
people.
R. I say it on the Blues broadcast.
I know. I always
everything.
say Cam is a little bit
little wild.
Cam crosses the line.
A little wild.
So
he's a little wild. It's all good.
Don't listen to him.
Cam's like how he played.
Yeah.
On podcast. A little wild. Just a little wild. That's how I played a little wild. That's it. That's me. My bad. I love all y'all.
No ice time?
No ice time. 3 minutes. And then a 3-minute fight.
The fastest
so 6
3
minutes.
minutes. That's what you should call.
The fastest 3 minutes.
You
ever.
should just do the fastest 3 minutes.
My fights were longer than my ice time.
That's true. Firstform.com/Cam&Strick. Use our link. Illinois
How was your
Recovery
ice time?
Center.
Was your ice time good?
I played first line. I was first line all the time. First power play.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, you were a workhorse for one. That was the number one
More
thing.
of a skill guy.
More of a power forward.
No.
Andy. If you look at Andy, he's a power forward.
No, not a power forward.
You know, when Eric looked at Andy through the mic, through the camera, he's like, "That's a power forward right there." I'm just saying.
Damn.
He probably looked at you like,
I'm probably.
He didn't know which one I was or which one you were.
I'm gonna edit probably something.
No, you're not.
Well,
no, you're not. He couldn't tell the difference between me.
Illinois Recovery Center. Check out IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. If you are in need of help, there's only one place to turn, man. They have your best interests in mind. They will take great care of you. There is a warm bed waiting for you.
Oh, nice beds, by the way.
And
big time.
Incredible, caring staff.
They'll get you right, man.
And
They'll get you right.
They
love you. They love you.
We have had listeners on the podcast who have been gone in for treatment at Illinois Recovery Center, and they're like,
it's unbelievable.
They're like, I'm not just telling you this. They're like, this is the most unbelievable. I've been to several different treatment facilities.
All over the world.
I've never seen anyone like this.
Well,
where they care about you.
Listen, if you're expecting a recovery center that's on the beach in goddamn Malibu with a bunch of fucking 6-foot broads that are doing too much coke because their mommy and daddy got money and everybody's fucking partying and banging each other, that ain't it. And you go out of that fucking thing in Malibu and you don't give a fuck and you're more fucked up than you were when you went in there because there's so much shit because no one gives a fuck. They want your money. This is a complete opposite. They want to help you. I've seen this firsthand. They want to help you and you'll get things done. You're not looking at the ocean, but boy, your beds are nice.
Yeah.
And the people there genuinely care about you. That's it. Don't play with me.
Hat lunch.
Don't play with me.
Hat lunch.
Check this bad boy out right yonder. God dang, boy. People ask me about these. Andy's got a hoard stacked in his basement. I need hats.
I've got more stuff now. I got a heated chair for you.
No.
From
where's all my stuff?
It just came.
Why do you do
came.
that? It just came. It just came.
Just came.
No, it came about months ago.
No,
you don't get.
I don't. I'm just taking them out of the box this morning.
I need to come over and inspect your house.
I'm going to bring it to you.
I'm going to look through your fridge.
Yeah.
I might look through your medicine cabinet. Just check. I'm just looking.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Stay out of there, dude.
I'm just going to look and see what's going on.
Stay out of there. My allergies are killing me right now.
I'm just saying. I might snoop around a little bit.
Okay, stay out
See
of
what's
there.
mine. I need to see what's mine.
Okay.
You have hats that I need. My hair
No,
sucks.
I don't have hats.
I need hats.
I don't have hats. We're going to have Danny Boy make some new ones, though.
Where's my blanket?
Okay. What blanket?
I don't know. You got blankets that
No,
say USA on them. I'm USA.
I don't have USA blankets. I got a USA hoodie
I
that
don't
I
know
got.
what you would be. I don't know.
Hey, this sets up the Four Nations, man. We're going to have a little bit of a rivalry here with USA and Canada, though.
Hell yeah.
That's
That'll
going
make
to
some
be
money.
created when they start singing the national anthem. Will the American audience in Boston, are they going to boo the Canadian national anthem?
Probably.
Oh, my God.
It's petty.
Unprecedented times.
It's petty.
Unprecedented times.
It's all going to change, dude. If you go back in history and you look at all the stuff that happened,
unprecedented
all these
times.
different ups and downs with different countries, it's just the way it goes, and it's all going to work itself out.
Hatlaunch.com.
Hatlaunch.com, baby. Check them out. Let's go.
Blue Note Roofing, man. Whew. I tell you this right now. There's only one number to call when you need roofing. When you need windows,
Fascia, all that.
gutters,
any of that.
soffit fascia. David Novak, Blue Note Roofing. Look for that big yellow truck with blue notes all over it. He is the biggest hockey. He'll talk hockey with you. He knows his shit, too. I'm bringing him into Hockey Sense later in this week, too. 314-920-5713. 314-920-5713.
5713. And like all that ice fucked up a lot of stuff on your house, too. Like your fascia, your gutters, all that stuff. Like, did you guys hear? Like, you're just sitting there watching TV and all of a sudden it goes, bam! You're like, Jesus.
What just happened?
Yeah, chunk of ice the size of you.
Call Blue Note Roofing.
So,
David Novak, he's the absolute best. 314-920-5713. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
dicks.
But you do get flavored water and sushi. They take
Swinging
great care of you.
dicks.
The best customer service you'll find anywhere. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Other side of the street, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. They have something for everybody and the entire family. Located where?
Troy, Missouri.
Where?
Beautiful Troy, Missouri.
Yeah, say hi to Danny
Right
boy.
up Highway 30.
Say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up? Dale? Kenny? Let's go, baby. What's up?
Say hell to the, say hell yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
Okay, this has been
My people.
the Cam and Strick Podcast.
Love all you guys, man.
Hey, let us know what you think. Always subscribe, hit that like button, leave us a comment.
All of our social media.
Let's
Check us
blow
out.
this baby up.
Let's go. What's
Come
up?
on now.
See you guys. Love all y'all.
2025. Hell yeah. Hell
Love all-
yeah. Let's
okay,
go.
thank you, Andy. It's over.